Hello, and welcome back to Heroes of Histaeria Sandsea Saga right here on the Delta Cryptid channel. Before we get started, Raul, I'd like to go through some announcements.
Yeah, this is actually going to be our last episode of this arc for a little while. But don't worry, there's plenty of other stuff that's going to be coming out, specifically on here and on Twitch and whatever else that I can find a way to stream on. I'm going to be streaming season 2 of Tales from Terra. It's going to be the Blazing Rams arc, and David's going to be returning for a good time there, playing a remarkably connected character to his previous one.
I am fucking pumped to ruin your day.
Yes. This man makes absolutely busted shit. It's great. And that'll be coming out soon. So look out for that. That'll be filling up some of the space that's going to be lacking. But there's going to be other things that are going to be coming out in between this episode and our next official Sandsea. Do you want to tell the folks what's going to be changing between these two seasons?
Yeah. Well, quite a lot's going to be changing. So we record this episode in February 19th is the day we are playing. So this is, for those of you in the TTRPG space, you might have, heard about the whole OGL drama and all that kind of stuff. During that whole fiasco, we did a little bit of soul searching and we decided, you know what? Can try something else. So we've decided that we are going to move our campaign over from D&D, which we are currently on, towards something very close, but also very fun, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It will allow us a lot more creativity space, I think. As if you've been watching the game and you're familiar with D&D, you probably recognize that 75% of our players are using homebrew subclasses, so Pathfinder does allow us a little bit of flexibility in terms of creation stuff. But if you want to see how that process is taking place as we adapt our current campaign for Pathfinder, check out our campaign diary series. It'll be here, right here.
Yep.
The space. This also does apply to Unearthed Inheritance over on CommuneDM's channel. So we will also be making the switch over to Pathfinder, but with some extra added special secret sauce that you will see in the coming weeks and months. That's that. So, friends, any questions, any lingering concerns, any fears?
Oh, many.
Are your dice ready? Your beverages present? Platters emptied?
I'm trusting digital dice this time. Taking a risk.
Horrible fucking decision.
Bad choice, but okay.
Let's see how that works out for y'all, and we will hop in to our game. So, my friends, it's been an eventful week for all of you. Ever since each one of your incredibly eventful arrivals into the Whispering Jungle, life has been chaotic. Fate has brought you all together in the Dying Gripply village in the Whispering Jungle of Hynk, and it was here that you first made your stand against the Monarch and its strange alien crafts. Since that day, your adventures have taken you deep into the savage wilds of the Whispering Jungle, within which you have faced strange cultists, deadly plants, friendly dinosaurs, primal spirits, unfriendly dinosaurs, and even a dragon. Along the way, you have made enemies and allies, and you even came close to making enemies from your allies. And it was in these very jungles that Edenor first fell from the heavens. It was in these very jungles that Luna got her first car. It was in these very jungles that Pym found her father, and it was in these very jungles that Lycus commandeered and lost his first airship. Like I said, it's been an eventful week. Now you find yourselves returning to the Frog Grove as even greater champions than when you last left. You return in a freshly procured but significantly damaged airship. Damage sustained in the defense of the Frog Grove from yet another one of the Monarch's strange alien ships. Through clever tactics and teamwork, the day is yours, and a hero's welcome awaits you. Our story resumes as your elemental inhabited vessel glides over the dried riverbed. As you approach, you see an eclectic gathering below consisting of the combined crews of the Wild Hunt and the Honor, mostly automata at this point. Cheers and whoops and hollering ride the wind to meet your ears, and you can see two young girls right at the front waving enthusiastically to you all as the ship slows to an easy rest, just roughly 60 feet above the ground. The emerald gems embedded into the hull that give Oka the ability to move around the ship and steer it kind of does this dull rhythmic glow as your ship comes to rest. My friends, as you are above the Frog Grove, what do you do next?
Jump off the ship.
It's about 60 feet up. Go for it. Roll me 5d6, please.
I can
3.
fall slow.
That's true, you can. All right, give me, what does it look like then?
Oh, full swan dive, just as unnecessary as possible. I think I'll even like pop my aspect and everything, just like make a spectacle of it.
Sure. Couple of things too. When you jump, right, with the slow fall and everything, roll an acrobatics check because you technically are going to be like 10 feet shy.
I don't think you're immune to fall damage.
Yeah, he's not immune to fall damage, but I'm going to discount a certain quantity here, depending on his check.
I haven't opened my character sheet.
Slow fall has actual mechanics, right?
It does.
It's like his level up to his level plus something like that.
Yeah, times 10 or some shit. So I think he's fine actually because he's level 6 right now. And let's see.
Dude,
slow
you can
fall.
Jump 60 feet. And just,
You can
like,
use your
tuck and
reaction to
roll. That's
reduce the
so
falling
awesome.
damage you take by 30. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Actually, so
Yeah.
Money.
No assumptions can be made.
No whammies, no whammies.
What is it? How many d6s?
it's 5d6s. You get the first 10 for free.
Oh man.
It's
All
actually,
sixes.
it's actually a really low roll. Let's see. You're fine. You don't take any damage.
Cool.
2 1s, 2 2s, and a 5. So you're fine. I don't need to do the math
Okay.
on that. That's less than 30.
Well, seeing
So-
our captain,
Fearlessly jump off.
fearless leader jump, I'm gonna follow, and I'm
Crowd
going
goes fucking
to.
nuts.
I'm going to. Luna, you wanna jump with me? I'll cushion the fall.
Please
The
drop,
energy too.
please drop Luna.
I climb up onto the.
Luna, real quick,
The
Luna,
edge.
what's your passive investigation, by the way?
23.
23. Okay, so with the 23 passive investigation, one of the things that you're aware of is that your ship does actually have lifts that go down on the sides. But you can feel free to jump. I'm just reminding you. With your passive
Activate
investigation,
it
you
and
do
then
know.
jump
Can you
anyway.
explain that? Lifts?
Yes. So your ship actually has like 2 little
Like
sections on
platforms?
the platforms on the side. Yeah, that can actually go down because the ship has no
Oh.
landing gear, right? So it actually
Yeah.
has like a couple of platforms on the sides of it, on both sides, port and starboard, that you can crank down.
I was
Can
picturing
we
like a
watch
rope ladder or
Rico
something.
come down?
No,
with that?
like it's a proper lift.
Yeah.
It's fancy.
There's a big
Luna?
guy one.
Fancy,
Join me?
fancy.
Right? Jump, like go on to the right. Like Lycus has already jumped off. I'm assuming.
Lycus is
on,
or
I
well,
grab
if you guys
Luna's
are all
hand.
doing it, I don't know if you guys want to
I
take a
grab
moment.
Luna's hand and start pulling her. Come on, it'll
Yeah.
be fine.
I'm
1,
coming
2,
along.
3. And we jump, and I cast Featherfall on us.
Any sort of acrobatics or flair to your falls or to your descents, rather?
I'll let go of Luna's hand when we're falling, and I'm just gonna do somersault, somersault, somersault. Whee!
Okay, perfect. There's another. People are
Do
going.
we have to? I know what's gonna. Do we have to put this in park?
Ship keeps going.
It's just the 3 of them jump off and then they're just cruising along. No, Brock looks at you and goes, no, it should. Oka's not totally an idiot. Don't worry, you guys will. The ship will wait here just fine for you.
Fair enough. I believe I will take the lift.
I think I will join you. Brock moves over to the lift, and then you hear, do you mind if I come along too? Dan, Edenor, says the purple-skinned tiefling
Damn.
to Merity.
It's
You may
Eddie, Eddie, Eddie.
I am known by many names, and I guess Dan is one of them now. shall we go?
The rest of the crew are staying behind. The three of you hop on, and the ship is lowered. And as you guys are descending, Edenor, what's your passive perception? Is it above 10?
Yes, it's 11.
With an 11, you hear, as you're descending, as the ropes are, and you can feel the platform begins to descend, and you're kind of like holding onto the railings. You hear a voice, and you hear, "All right, you bastards. When the captain's gone and the first mate's gone, I'm in charge." As Jackrabbit announces to the rest of the remaining crew.
Edward just thinks, oh, that's going to be trouble, but we'll deal with it later.
You all manage to descend, and as you guys are, as you're coming down, the group of you that descended gracefully, you guys are just kind of like hitting the floor. Edenor and the other guys are like 30 feet up still as they're kind of making their way down a little bit slower on the platform. One of the things that happens also is you see a chunk of wood from the bottom of the hull just kind of fall down as the ship is again slightly damaged, and people are like, "Ah, oh shit!"
One less Gripply, I guess.
Like as you land, actually no Gripply are out at the moment.
Oh,
just the two crews. But like as you land, you're immediately swarmed. Roll initiative.
It's a trap.
The two kids, Sarah and Yoma, who did manage to make it back to the Frog Grove safely, with Hammond, who you don't see at the moment, and he is easily someone you would see given his size, but he's not present in this group. But the two girls just run up and just grab you, and they're just like hanging on to you, squeeze you. Even Yoma, who typically tries to play it kind of cool, just wordlessly, face buried against you.
Oh wow. I'm not gonna complain, but this is pretty emotional for you, don't you think?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Platform continues coming down. Edenor, as you hit Sarah, and Yoma is at this point chilled out a little bit, but
Wait,
Sarah does not.
Before this happens, I want to whisper into Sarah's ear. When you hug Edenor, call him Eddie. Go.
Okay. 1 sec. Roll a persuasion check for me.
Okay. That's pretty good. What's my persuasion? 15.
Perfect. Okay. Edenor, as you land, right as you're like 1 foot off the platform, all of a sudden you were just swarmed. Sarah hangs on to you and goes, "Daddy!"
Well, hello, Sarah. How are you? Thank you.
Just tears in the
completely
eyes.
Thank you.
Brock even looks at you and goes, "Yeah, and I had no idea."
No, that's not. Sarah, how are you? I'm glad to see that you're safe. And I get down like on a knee and like also hug Sarah back.
Hugs you. Temerity has kind of like a warm smile on the face, taking all this in. The crowd is like approaching you all, and there's just like pats on the shoulders, jostles. Everybody is incredibly happy to see you, especially given, it seems obvious like when Hammond arrived, he spread the word. Battle stations were taken. Weapons are kind of discarded on the sand as you see that they clearly saw you guys coming on the horizon.
How fearsome do these Gripply look? Who's going to defend her? Like,
with your passive investigation again,
yeah,
no Gripply in this group.
This is the cruise.
This is the cruise.
the crew. Oh, okay.
So you see like mostly the folks from the wild hunt that you had rescued.
Yeah.
A few automata who were aboard the Honor, as well as 4 UNT who were also just kind of like so far nameless crewmen that were all part of the Honor's crew. That have been working towards, again, you remember these guys had been in the process of kind of adapting the wild hunt to become an airship.
Quick spot check. Is Inaria still tied up at that post?
Kanari.
Kanari, sorry.
Yeah. Kanari was left in the hold of the Wild Hunt, so you guys are outside, so you can't see.
Gotcha. Okay.
Who knows? Something worth checking out, though. As everybody's just, again, you're getting a lot of congratulations, well wishes, people asking you if you're injured and everything. Pim, there's a tap on your shoulder, and you turn around to see a very flush-cheeked Ulrich. A big smile on the face. I'm so glad you're okay. Are you okay? Are you injured?
Yeah, I mean, I took a couple hits, but it's like, whatever. I'm totally fine. Little tired, but...
Hand rest is on your other shoulder, and you hear, Pim, who's your friend? As Rock sidles up next to you.
She blushes a little bit. This is Ulrich. He's a healer, and he gave me a health potion, which, by the way, pretty much saved my life, so thanks.
Oh, indeed. Well, any friend of Pim's. Brox extends a hand, and Ulrich, kind of picking up on the resemblance, carefully shakes a hand. Hi, sir, thank you.
Oh, sorry, Ulrich,
nice to meet you.
Is my dad.
Nice to meet you, sir.
No pressure, Ulrich.
Hi, Luna, are you okay?
Oh, never better.
Good. Well, I'm glad you guys are all back. Looks around. Captain Lycus. Captain Hammond, asked to see you when you have a moment. He's awaiting you in his quarters on the Wild Hunt.
That seems like a good idea.
Is Lycus still bleeding from his eye, by the way?
Just every once in a while. Just,
Yeah.
like he has an eye patch on, but every once in a while, just a tear of blood.
When he's feeling melancholy.
Yoma takes a cloth and just kind of pulls it off for you.
Ednor, how about you and I actually go talk to him real quick? I think you might have some words as well.
Yeah, can we, when you guys are done, can we meet over by the tower and just have a quick team meeting?
That would be great.
Yeah, just in a bit. Take your time.
The tower, like, there's been some progress made on the tower, but it's definitely not like a tower. It's more like the site of where the tower might be, but it still functions as a good private spot for you.
All right.
Future plans.
Okay.
As I'm getting ready to follow, here, I think you'd look fantastic in this. Just, you can borrow it for a minute. I'm gonna put my cloak of billowing on, on Sarah. So, and then,
yes, it doesn't even drag in the sand because it is a cloak of billowing, right? It does manage to just kind of lift like maybe an inch or two above the ground as it kind of trails behind her, and she like excitedly runs over to Yoma, and she's like pulling on her like, oh my god, Yoma, look! Just kind of like prancing around and dancing with it.
And I'm just gonna look at Luna. This is why we don't throw useful items overboard. Anyways, we'll have more conversations later about magic items being pitched. Regardless, like this, shall we?
He looks back. He's like halfway there. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Let's see. So Ulrich is coming with you, as is Cassius and Mellow Knot. Those two will also kind of like start making their way with you towards the ship. People, as you are going, though, as basically the crowd kind of disperses a little bit. Him and Luna, since it seems that you two don't immediately have business, people are offering things like drinks, just like ale. No frog wine, unfortunately. It's very limited supply, as Lycus keeps that cash secret to all but the children.
Makes perfect sense.
Hey.
Yoma hasn't drank in like days.
At least a few days. At least about 4
We've
days.
been gone for a while. Who friggin' knows?
We've only known them for 9 days.
Okay, Lycus and Edinor, you, along with a lot of the crew of the Wild Hunt, are heading back towards the Wild Hunt. Pim and Luna, what are you guys up to?
I'll say this hero's welcome is quite nice, and I think I will join along with the festivities.
Okay. Cool.
I'm
so-
just gonna tap on the shoulder of just a random crew person
Sure.
and just say, where are all the Gripply?
The individual you tap is one of the Yuan T from the Honor, and he turns and goes, "Oh, they're staying in their little huts things. You know, it's quite hot out, and they're not doing too
Oh,
well.
right.
So,
Okay.
you can, so again, you do spy a couple of Gripply, but most of those are kind of like over by the Frog Mother's pond in that water that's quite warm still too. As they, are giving you like a little bit of a hail, but it's very half-hearted, low energy.
Is Gazalik around?
Actually, Gazalik is around.
Great.
And you see as Brock and you, as Ulrich is leaving, looks over, you see Gazalik, and Brock goes, "Gazalik, my friend!" Kind of crosses the distance, and the two kind of share like a very like grasp. He goes, "How have you been, my friend? I hope you're well. When Pim mentioned that she'd encountered you, it set me at ease." And Gazalik looks down at him. "Brock Knackle, good to see you." And the two share a little bit of a reunion. But do you have questions for Gazalik? Otherwise, I don't need to talk to myself. It's very heartfelt.
Not in this setting, but once things kind of calm down, and maybe if we sit down for a meal or something.
Sure. It's definitely late, and dinner time is approaching. So,
Okay.
I will say, Gazalik and a couple of the Yuan T will lead Pim and Luna and Brock towards the great tree that Wabadub lives in, where he has his little herbalist setup. And as you guys kind of enter, you can find chairs and stuff like that, and you get a little bit of like a celebration going. Folks are passing around drinks and stuff like that. Not much drinks though. But food is definitely there. Gazalik has made some good berries and all some of that other stuff that druids can do. But yeah.
So if we're over by Wubadub, I will actually head into his little hut and say, hey Wubadub, how's it going?
Good evening, little gnome.
Hey, I was wondering, I think, did Lycus get some dyes here? Like some colors? Is this where he got those?
I believe I did send him along with something of that kind. Are you looking for something?
Yeah, so we have this new ship, and I just kind of want to make it our own. So I was wondering if you had anything we could use for paint, or paint itself, maybe?
There are things that can be crafted for you.
Awesome.
I will take some time. Give me perhaps tomorrow afternoon.
Of course. And let me see what I have here. Happy to trade. You start digging around, and I've got.
Puts a hand on your hand. It's the least I can do.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you for defending our home.
When he turns around before I leave, I'm just gonna slip some snake tongues across the counter and walk out and feel really good about leaving him that little gift.
Okay. Easily managed as he's kind of like contemplating as he's kind of moving away. Luna, anything in particular, anyone you're looking to converse with?
I think if the three of us are close to each other, I'm just a little curious on what, I guess what's Brock's next.
Brock's next
What's
move?
he gonna do next? Yeah. So I'll ask Brock. Now that you're not under control of whatever that tower was, where are you gonna go from here? You gonna come with us?
Looks at Pim goes, no, my next order of business is to find my wife. I must find Brina.
I was thinking, well, since we don't know exactly where she is, maybe I could try to communicate with her again.
That could be helpful, certainly. Given Varanya's recent ascension, it is not safe for me here. So, with any luck, we'll find Brina soon and we can leave this jungle. At the mention of Varanya's ascension, Gazalik, and also the discussion of Brina, Gazalik weighs in now and goes, if Varanya has become dragon, then I too will leave the jungle with you. Your mate, Brocknackle, is amongst the goblins. Their kind hold her captive. Goblins, you say? And then Muldan Ordan would be where we would head next. But... And then Gazalik says, Muldan Ordan is no longer safe for goblins. Brina is with them, but where they live now, I do not know. I suggest we find a goblin, and perhaps they can tell us more. And Brock looks to the two of you and goes, you have to know where we can find a goblin. Don't see any amongst your group here.
There is one. Would you like to meet her?
Very much so. Have you spoken to her? Did she said anything about your mother?
Well, she recognized me, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
But
But she didn't tell you.
no, sorry, give me a second to look at my notes.
I will. Well, I'll say before we go and speak with them. You've met Dan already. Dan had a experience with who would meet here. We have to probably come in with our best behavior, or might have to offer something in exchange for any information that we'll get from. If I recall correctly, the goblin's name was Klink.
Klink. Yep.
Klink.
Oh, by the way, everybody take an inspiration. Nigel, take a free one take an extra one for remembering a name.
Yay!
Yeah, Klink.
Well, looks at Pim and says, well, we can be quite charming when we need to be, right, daughter?
Absolutely.
Let's find your
just
goblin
figured-
friend.
I just figured I should throw that up there. Just
As long as they have...
for full transparency, Dan went and eliminated 3 of the 4 goblins that we had here. The one surviving is Klink.
I imagine he must have had a good reason, right?
Yes. Yes.
Insight
They-
check.
That's a good reason. you just. You're gonna
18
have
for
to
insight
spy.
check. What
They
are
were
you
conspiring.
Are you two trying to hide anything from them?
Not really.
Well-
They were conspiring to escape and put the whole village in danger. So yeah, I think it was a good reason.
Oh my god, D&D Beyond's roller is such crap.
Hey, you made this decision.
This is your choice.
Wait. I have to roll a 19.
You have to, yeah. That's true.
Nope, got a 7.
Okay, Luna,
So-
what do you kind of betray?
That maybe showing an uncomfortable look in when the words of "I'm sure it made sense or it was fair," like a wondering, was it?
Was really.
I mean, so none of us were there, but Edenor
correct.
and I have an understanding, and he doesn't lie to me, and so I believe him.
Well, I'll have to think. I'm not sure how to feel about this. Let's see your goblin friend and let's see if it's an issue.
Yeah, and I would suggest let's just keep the magic arts out of this conversation as best we can, because if you're gonna build a relationship with this person and take them with you on an important mission, I think you probably want it to be a genuine bond, right?
It's very wise of you, Pim. Yes.
Cool.
We will do our best. Let's see. Where are they? Where can we find your goblin?
Right this way.
Does this
Them over
include,
to Klink. I think they're.
does this
Are they in a
include me
hut?
as well?
Yeah,
The
if
magic?
you want
Yeah.
to. Oh, that.
Oh,
No, I'm
well, I was
following
talking to
along.
Brock with like the
Okay.
persuasiveness thing, but you do
Gotcha.
you.
Okay, so the three of you, I'll say Gazalik is going to hang back a little bit. Himself and Wobbedup seem to be quite close. They've been making a lot of water for the Gripply and that kind of thing. You guys are heading over to the last place where you left Klink, which I believe was imprisoned on the Wild Hunt with the Yuan-Ti.
We moved Klink to there, or Klink?
Yeah, Klink tried to escape. Edenor brought Klink back in the sandstorm, and then you chucked Klink into the cell with the...
Into the
Oh,
Klink.
don't say Chuck. It just sounds bad. like Edenor Kobe'd it into the into the cell.
It probably wasn't too gentle. But that's a good opportunity for us to jump over to Edenor and Lycus as the two of you and the children, most of the crew of the Wild Hunt, who did not join in the festivities with the other two, you guys make your way over to the Wild Hunt. You guys climb aboard the deck. Make your way towards the captain's quarters. It's a familiar little path for you at this point, right? You guys have been aboard this ship numerous times, and in this very room. As you enter, bringing the girls with you?
I think I told. I think Sarah was running around.
Oh, Sarah's
playing
running
with
around the cloak. Okay.
So,
All right. Then
I don't know
Yoma,
about Yoma. Yeah.
Lycus, Yoma?
I think Yoma should be here. I think she should watch.
Okay. Then we'll say both girls are with you. So the girls are with you. So it's you four, and then as you guys kind of, Cassius, the Leonin, opens the door, right? Four of you step in. Ulrich and the other rest of the crew kind of, at this point, have kind of dissipated. But Cassius follows you in, closes the door behind them, and kind of leans up at the door. So it is the two of you and the two children in the captain's quarters, Cassius at the door. And across the room.
Can I get a clarification? At the door, is it like leaning up against the closed door? or
Leaning
next
up
to-
against the closed door.
Okay. All right.
Like,
all right.
Back
Just wanna
against the
make sure.
closed door.
All right.
Across the table, Hammond is staring out the window, and you can see head angled up as taking a look at the ship. As you guys enter the room, he goes, "Well, I'm glad that you were all successful. It seems you used that ship to great effect, although some damage was sustained, I see."
We're always pretty successful, even if we do come out scratched and beaten.
That's what it seems. You all do seem to find a way to land on your feet.
I believe I took a feat for that.
I'm glad you've made it back. The girls were worried, weren't you, good children? And they both kind of like nod. And Hammond says, reaches underneath his table and pulls out a kind of like a burlap sack, right? You can see it's a pretty big object, whatever's in there. Kind of rests it on the table and pulls the sack aside, letting the contents kind of slide out onto the table. And the two of you see before you, upon this rich wooden table, a recognizable to both of you, a pair of hands, monkey hands, with straps along the sides. And he says, "This is the remainder of your payment. for rescuing my crew from the UNT. I promise to enchant these for you, and enchanted they are. And he kind of slides them towards you.
Oh, what do these do?
Well, I was inspired seeing you brought back the arms of a monkey for me. I figured I could craft them into boots that could do something similar. Should you wear them, they make you particularly adept at climbing, and your feet will be as dexterous as your hands.
I hand them over to Yoma to play with if she wants to.
She goes, "Oh shit, that's cool." Slides them on, starts kind of wiggling her toes, and as she does so, you can see the fingers that would be the monkey's fingers. Kind of also, just, oh, that's creepy. And she goes, she looks to Lycus and goes, "Can I keep him?"
Fine.
Okay, Sarah, let's go. Can we go?
Actually,
Easier?
Yoma, before you leave, I think maybe you should see what it's like when certain things need to be done. Hammond, we still need to have a little talk.
We do.
Sure, this payment is balancing out some debts, but there's a lot of things that have happened that I don't think leave us quite square.
I'd agree.
Now, I understand leaving our ally out to the wolves, if you will, to the snakes. I told him not to risk his life to save you, and that puts you in possible danger. I understand how that could look. And in exchange, you took what actions you thought were right. Here's the thing. When you betrayed us, again, no hard feelings, you took actions that directly affected us in a detrimentous way. God, I'm not good with words, but nearly killed the girls. I have the scars to prove it. And I want us to have a working relationship, but I don't think we can trust each other right now. Ednor, do you agree?
I would concur. And also where I'm positioned in between Cassius, I believe, and and the girls, just to make sure that the girls are in between myself and Lycus during this conversation.
Okay.
So I was hoping, I'm not sure if you're too familiar, it's more of a lowly pirate tradition, but there is a tradition on the sea to establish some faith between each other. Would you be willing to partake in a little ritual with me?
To be quite honest with you, no. I do not want to partake in any ritual with you. I think the best course of action for both our crews, captain to captain, is for us to part ways.
I don't know.
You have a ship. I assume you will be leaving on said ship.
I will.
Rest assured, once mine is skyward.
No. Your ship isn't really yours anymore. It's yours, and from what I can see of the UNT's handiwork, part of it should belong to oh my god, my words are blanking from my brain. What's my friend's name?
Idris.
Idris. Oh my god. This ship rightfully belongs to you, and from what I can tell, Idris.
Well, Idris is not exactly here to lay a claim.
And that's a problem.
That's Idris's problem.
I think that should be your problem.
I don't believe that is true. Our business, Lycus, was simple. I was to aid you in a hunt. Now, you might just want to reference the fact that Idris and you were very cavalier about my well-being, but my decision was not based on simply that moment alone. There have been other things like us that are concerning, things that I do not exactly appreciate in my allies.
Well, let's lay them bare. You've mentioned you didn't appreciate my actions, I understand, or the methods with which Ednor takes with some of the individuals.
We can call it murder.
I was preventing murder by metering out justice, but fair enough. Call it what you will. I would say the same of what you did to Idris. You sent him off to murder.
I sent him off with those who seem to have authority. I sent him to pay for the crimes that he committed.
Whose authority?
Apparently Sa-Aras.
And why do you care about Sa-Aras's authority?
I don't really, but what I do care is my own survival. And when Inishi came to me with an option to ensure my survival, I took it.
So now, you trusted some snake people you've never met, who claim to be under some god, who earlier was working with some people who were trying to turn your crew into monsters, versus someone who admittedly is a little sketchy and was trying to help? Come on.
I wouldn't say he was trying to help. I believe you gave him explicit instructions not to.
I told him you were looking poorly upon us.
Besides that, I have been protecting the Frog Grove since the invasion began. Their people are dying. Your crew has the very item that could save them.
Are you not an enchanter? Could you not have enchanted a simple item?
Magic, my friend, is like a recipe, like cooking. If I have the recipe, perhaps I can. If you give me the relic, if you give me the item, I can see what I can do.
I'm not against letting you work with it. You know, if we work together. Luna, I feel like, should be present to ensure nothing is tampered with. I am fully in support of leaving the Frog Grove with something to defend itself. However, if we leave them with a flask like our own, the water seems to attract these monsters. They stole the whole world's ocean. You think if we left them with this, they will not be a bigger target? To just leave them with this, we need to have a plan first.
Fair enough. That is something we can discuss with the Pond Mother then.
Sure. But I don't know. It's hard to have faith in you, my friend.
I agree, and I feel the feeling is mutual. Therefore, I think it best that our crews part ways. As I said, this town is not big enough for two crews.
You okay there, Nigel?
This town's not big enough for the both of us.
There we go.
You had to say it right.
I was gonna say, but then when Nigel started giggling, I was like, you know what?
I'll insert a little boo-wee-woo.
Can we get a little tumbleweed rolling across the screen there, Ollie?
Perfect.
Oh, sure, for sure. I find that. Ednor, I hope for your counsel here. Where do you stand?
If there is a way to replicate Luna's item with Luna's permission, then I believe we should pursue that. I mean, I'm sure there are risks of destruction of the item and stuff, whatnot, but again, we'll have to talk with Luna. Because, as you're right, I do believe it is time for us to our crews to part ways at this time. But we also, going out and away from the Frog Grove, we will need this resource when traveling over the large, desolate distances that we are going to have to travel. So while we will go our separate directions, we may need a little bit of time to prepare for that, and we can utilize that time to provide what the Frog Grove needs and what we need. And this is a very, very special item in these times. In the past, it was relatively common, not as useful, as we all know. But now it is very important we take every precaution with it, and I would have no issue providing a duplicate, and I assume you could duplicate it for yourselves as well. That is no issue to me.
Have to see, but
yes,
perhaps.
Assuming we can, perhaps. We would just ask for potentially some assistance in patching up some of the damage for protecting the Frog Grove not once but twice by that ship. And then I believe we would need to talk to Idris's old crew and see if they would wish to join us.
That all sounds fair to me.
Yes, because I'm sure that you do not wish to have them remain with you. So
Idris's crew and my crew seem to be get along quite well. If the Yuan-Ti decide that a life upon a ship is what they would like, they are welcome to it.
Are they aware of what you did to their captain?
Has not come up yet.
Well, I believe that should be something that is fully transparent to them prior to them making the decision to remain with your crew, or potentially with ours, if they wish to stay at the Frog Grove. That is
Very
their
well.
own.
That seems fair, and I will not take that choice away from them.
Yes, and I understand we have different philosophies regarding certain items, but we've both done things that each party finds disagreeable. I mean, the destruction of property and betrayal ranks highly on my list, but I understand what you see as murder, whereas what I see as preventative destruction of this entire homestead and its people are coming to an impasse regarding that. We have worked well together outside of certain items. But yes, I would agree we need to go our separate ways. We have many things that we must do. I would only ask if you ever wish to leave the Frog Grove, that you make sure that it is in proper condition and can stand on its own, since we do not wish to be in the same area for longer than possible. Between our crews, not between the Frog Grove. I have no issue with this place.
I agree. Well, I'm hoping that repairs on the hunt looks to Cassius, take roughly maybe another week or so. Cassius kind of nods, non-committed. He goes, well, given that time, I see the options as being either your crew is welcome to stay here and protect the Frog Grove as well. We protected them up until this point, but you've proven yourselves capable protectors. Perhaps you would like to stay here and keep an eye on them.
That is not an option.
Yes, there's many, honestly, world-ending issues that we have to attend to somehow.
My crew will do what they can. We will do what we can. And if we can replicate the item, perhaps the Frog Grove can become strong enough to maybe even defend itself.
There's also the matter of the Orokokra that's aboard this ship right now.
Ah, yes.
His people were actually in danger of Aranya. She was going to send a device that would be cataclysmic to them. we've made an enemy of her, of course,
As you do.
as we do. But in that, we saved their city, and I believe with a little bit of work, if the Frog Grove has a resource as necessary as water to it, perhaps we can establish a relationship with that Orokroko city, provide with them what they need, and they provide for the Frog Grove protection.
That seems a wise decision.
Again, and this is one last thing. We seem even, we seem fair. You're a tracker, yes? When you leave here, I'll offer you whatever I have for one last thing. You don't have to save him, but if you could find Idris, let me know where he is. I'll do the rest.
I can save you the trouble. Idris was taken back to his city, Sraras. The location of that place I do not know. But there are those aboard the hunt who do.
Very well. I guess we should move our prisoners over to our own brig at this point.
That would
And
be...
I pat Edna on the chest. Did you know the bottom of our brig falls off? We can just drop them anywhere.
Very good. I'm sure that Hammond would love that preferred to my other methods. Jokingly, and you just see a little smirk. But regardless, I thank you for what you have done. But I will give one warning. If you ever put these girls in danger again of your actions, there will be no forgiveness. And there will only be one thing that will bring me recompense, and you will not like it. So I just wanted to give you that fair warning, just to keep that in mind for future. And I do hope that once we go our separate ways, that I wish you well, but I hope we never meet again. Thank you. And I'm gonna just take my way and walk up to Cassius and say, "Thank you, Cassius. I would like to leave now." And I'm gonna, come on, girls.
Cassius nods ahead and kind of nods ahead at you, looks at the captain, at Hammond before moving, and Hammond and Cassius nods, steps aside. And as you're going, though, Cassius, Hammond does say to you, Edenor, if I were to endanger children, I am sorry. But their being in that jungle was not of my deciding.
That is true. That was the decision that myself and Lycus will own, as I'm just kind of looking over my shoulder. But at the same time, I wasn't 100% sure they were safe here either. And I felt more comfortable with them being around us, rather than expect charity from, frankly, strangers. And I'm just going to continue walking.
Okay. You guys are heading out. Cassius closes. As you're heading out, the rest of the crew is also starting to board the ship. The door closes. Hammond has nothing else to say as the four of you, leave the room. You encounter the rest of the crew on the deck of the Hunt as they are boarding. So, party's back together. You guys can update each other on what has transpired.
All right. There are a couple of items that, as I see them coming up, that we may wish to go over when we link up at the tower, rather than, just so we can speak our minds.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys up to?
Well, I was just getting some paint ordered.
Oh, and that's not on the ship, though.
No. Wubba is gonna make some paint for me, and I thought we could figure out a name for the ship and
Yes.
get it up there.
Yes, I will also make one statement. After conversations, I guess we might as well do this now while we're here. We might as well collect our prisoners and transfer them over. So I'm just going to go start that process.
Sure.
Would any of you like to join?
Oh yeah, of course.
Assume the whole.
I actually
Not-
need to speak with my dad for a few minutes. That's okay.
Of course. Brock, I hope you're enjoying being on the ground now.
Very much so. Very much enjoying being on the ground and enjoying being in my own state of mind. Much appreciated.
Yes, very good.
Nice shoes, Yoma.
I feel like at this point she's like walking on the wall.
Oh yeah, she's like
tiptoeing around,
hanging upside down from like the lines.
Yes. And I'm just gonna say I need to talk to my old friend Klink.
Well, that's actually who we're here to see as well.
True.
Oh, perfect. Yes, we can have a little chat as we're heading back to the ship with them. Be aware, we do have one of the prisoners gagged. They are very persuasive as well. So we can update you on that later as well. Anyways, I'm sure Pim can explain it much better than I can. And then just gonna start marching down to the brig.
Down to the brig. Yeah.
Wait,
Oh
Dan,
yes.
Is
Is this going to be a new thing now, Luna?
Dan, hold on.
Danny boy.
I'm not sure if Klink might be ready to see you right now.
Why not? I believe we ended on great terms and a great understanding of expected outcomes.
No, that's a good point though. We actually need Klink in a more cooperative.
Klink was very
State.
cooperative last I spoke with Klink.
Well, under
Feet
duress.
cooperation. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you wait by the entrance, just to the side, and because we'll have our Brock and Pim speak with Klink. Perhaps like if the situation calls for it, then you can step in.
Oh.
If it's not
Alright.
going too well, perhaps.
Yeah,
How about this?
if you all right.
You're just
I guess
very
if you want to talk.
intimidating.
Oh,
No?
no, thank you.
How about
If
this? Could you just
Klink-
bring
yes,
Klink
yeah.
to us? We can have a quick conversation before you put her in the cell.
Of course. Do we want to do that on the ship? So we just,
Well, I guess we
Yes.
kind of want Klink separate from the others.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, how about this? I go down, I help move Lycus and I, helps move the rest of the prisoners, and then you'll have Klink on your own. I believe
Perfect.
the three of you can handle Klink separately, and plus there's the whole crew here.
Yeah, that would
So
be great.
as long as Lycus is fine with that, that
Yes,
would
I think that's a great idea.
be a great
when you're-
idea. I will say hi to Klink, of course, but I wouldn't want to be rude.
When you're done with Klink, I don't know what.
Insight check. Never mind.
I
Probably
don't know.
not gonna make.
Yeah,
Probably not
'cause
gonna do it.
I had like 18 with my
Yeah.
bonus.
I don't know what your goals with Klink are, but when you're done having your conversation, lead her back to the brig on our ship, and
Well, yeah, full disclosure, we were just. I mean, my dad's gonna go try to rescue my mom, and Gazalik would like to go with him. They're good buddies, and they thought it would be valuable to have a goblin with them.
Oh, of course.
great minds. Fine, very well. I was hoping to ask her to join the crew.
Oh, I
If it's
think
all
this
this-
is
if
a
it's okay with
phenomenal
you-
plan.
This is really important mission for my family.
Of course, this is more important.
Thank you.
I'm sure Lycus can convince Idris's crew to potentially join us for the interim. Yes. So let's not dally. Of
All
course,
right.
I'm excited to see Klink again.
Hey, I like
So-
seeing that little sparkle in your eye, Edenor.
You should see a twinkle.
Even if it's kind of murderous, I just like it.
So Edenor and Lycus are heading down to the brig to get Klink, to leave Klink, but get the Yuan T and Kanari.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Girls coming with.
At this point, I think they're free to go unless I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of, as interesting as this was, they have some new toys they want to go play with.
Yeah, I just
Yes.
want to mention to Yoma before she leaves. So Yoma, things were a little tense, and it might have been a little uncomfortable. It's important that you pay attention to the way people guard themselves when they're pushed against the wall. Hammond cares for his people. He's not innately a bad man or anything by the sort, but he's not really an ally at this point either.
Well, the story is don't trust strangers. And then
Yes.
Ednor's gonna walk off.
Don't trust strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Don't take any candy.
But he made me shoes.
And the main thing is hold your ground. When they're pushing back, stick to what you believe in and what you need. We'll always support you. Now, go fuck things up with those dumb shoes.
You got it. And runs away and kind of like does a little bit of a parkour monk move, right? Able to kind of like grab onto the side of the ship with the feet, and as again, like Hammond said, really as dexterous as hands, balance on point. You can imagine future trainings is going to be a lot easier.
Oh, my heart. Edgar, I'm so proud.
And Edenor Sarah kind of is running behind her with the cloak billowing behind her.
Ah, perfect.
Okay. The two of you head down to the brig. You make your way there easily enough. Kunari is actually tied up outside the brig onto a support beam, still there, wrapped up in the chains of the bands of binding as left and gagged.
No, we took the band of binding. I tied her up with a.
Oh, that's
with a
right.
check.
That's right. So still tied to that post and gagged. All right. Kind of sees as you guys are coming in. It's like disappointed to see that it's the two of you. The door to the actual like brig is closed, but as it opens, and you look inside, you see the three Yuan-Ti prisoners, Anshin, Pythias, and Jinzo, but no goblin.
Oh.
Where's the other prisoner? Immediately, Edenor's like entire mood is shifted. Just
Roll-
saying to the other prisoners.
Can I just get a couple of investigation checks just to kind of hang on to for the two of you?
Okay.
Can I try to sniff for her? See if I can pick up a scent.
Sure. So hold on to your. Don't do an investigation. Roll a perception for me.
So do I still roll investigation?
You still roll investigation.
Okay.
Yeah. So just Edenor's investigating, and Lycus is sniffing.
I hope your sniffer is better than my investigation.
My boy, it's a nat 20. It's definitely better.
Yeah, because I rolled a 3.
Ooh.
Okay, so investigation, Edenor, you don't see anything, but as you, what was it you said? You said where's Klink or something?
I said, "Where's the other prisoner?" And I was like, already, angry face. I will intimidate them if I have to. I will intimidate them.
The Yuan-Ti. So, you say that the Yuan-Ti kind of start to look to you, but Lycus, you with your nat 20, you do catch a scent. You've been around Klink. You're familiar with the scent. Scent seems to be leading upstairs onto the to the deck above the deck that you're on now.
Okay.
Kind of back where you came.
Ednor, why don't you take these three to the ship? You'll be able to manage them. And I'll head outside and mention to the other people out there. All right, so Klink seems to have maybe escaped.
On your way out, you do with your 20, you do catch the scent. On your way out, as you make your way kind of like onto the deck above, catch the scent of Klink coming from Ulrich's surgery suite, like from the surgery cabin, the surgeon's cabin.
The
rest of the party's not there, so it's just you at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll investigate that before hollering everybody over.
Okay. You open the door. Right as you go to open the door, it is locked, and you hear Ulrich's voice. Hello? Someone there?
Open the door, or I will kick it open.
Captain Lycus?
Yes, please, and thank you.
Can I ask what you need?
I believe there's a prisoner in there.
Yeah. But Captain says you're not allowed to talk to her.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. We're exchanging prisoners.
Well, no. She's not a prisoner. She signed up with our crew.
All right. I'm gonna holler for the merry folk.
Okay.
And just kind of try to summon everybody to me.
Outside the door.
Outside the door. You doing that definitely gets you a little bit more than the merry folk. So Edenor and the rest of the crew, you guys can all hear. Lycus, what's the call?
I was just gonna ask that.
Autobots roll out.
It's like the conch.
The howl.
I think it's just just a bit of a howl. Like, merry folk, we have a problem. And I'll just yell that out and like give a little howl.
I'm going to close the door to the rest of the prisoners, lock it in, be like, I'll be back. Don't move.
Nori winks at you.
BRB, Dad. That's the signal. I gotta go check this out.
Part of me doesn't want to respond, but yeah, I guess I'll see.
Leaving like it's on red.
Luna.
All right, the crew, you all gather outside the door to Ulrich's cabin. And as you, all four of you.
What's going on?
It seems as though Klink has joined their crew and is
Shit.
being protected by Hammond. So.
She's in there? Pointing to Ulrich.
Yeah. Yes. Ulrich, again, open the door or I will open it.
Oh, hold on.
Lycus, I'm sorry, Captain's orders, man.
Hey, Ulrich, it's me. Did
Hey,
Hammond say that I wasn't allowed to talk?
Hammond said that no one from your crew is allowed to talk to Klink.
All right then. I'll have to go talk to Hammond.
No.
All right.
I'll be right back. I walk up to Hammond's room.
The rest of you going with? Or the rest of you doing?
I'll be back. And I'm going to go back to the ship.
Your ship up top. Okay. And Nora's heading out the ship. Luna,
I think-
Lycus.
Luna, why don't we stay here for a moment?
Yeah.
Things from escalating. Escalating? Whatever.
Yeah.
Head up
All
to
right.
Hammond's room.
We'll do
Knock,
Pim
knock,
first
knock.
then, yeah. All right. You knock. And the door kind of slightly opens, and you see the head of a leonin stick out, looks around, and then looks down. Pim, come on in. Hammond asks from his desk, and he kind of looks up from the charge. Pim Herminia Knackle. How can I be of assistance?
Hello, sir. She's a little bit cold after the interaction in the jungle, but she says, "So what's this I hear about Klink signing up to join your crew?"
Yes, well, with the impending battle, it was something of an all-hands-on-deck situation. While I do not trust the Yuan-Ti or Kanari, Klink seemed to be a different situation. When I offered her position on my crew to help defend the Frog Grove, she agreed. So, now she's part of the crew on the Wild Hunt.
You trust her?
I certainly trust her more than I trust you.
Well, listen. This might be a long shot, but, got some family business going on. And Klink would be really, really valuable to help retrieve my mother, who is in danger. And how would you feel about letting Klink decide what crew she wishes to be a part of? Maybe she didn't know there were other options to her.
In fact, it was a condition of ours that I would protect her from your crew if she were to join up. Apparently, Edenor tried to kill her, and did manage to succeed with her allies.
Well, apparently Klink was plotting to escape and sell out the entire village. So I think you were missing that piece of information.
And is this Edenor's claim?
Yes, it is. And I trust Edenor. I know you don't, but I do.
That's fair, but I see little reason to trust Edenor more than Klink. I know the two of you equally. I know the two of them equally. And given the situation, Edenor seemed to be the one in power. What reason would Klink have to lie at this point, other than genuine fear for her own survival?
Yeah, speaking as a really good liar, I think that Klink had every reason to lie in order to survive. And I think that Klink will do the same to survive in your crew.
Do you think Edenor perhaps did not lie to save face? Declaring that he wantonly murdered 4 people would probably leave a bad taste in even a mouth as, let's say, familiar with bad tastes as your captain's.
Edenor was trying to protect the village.
Again, his claim versus hers. I'd
Listen,
be happy to
listen.
arrange a meeting. Do you want to speak to Klink?
I very much do, but right now I want to speak to you.
Okay.
You're going to have to learn to trust people if you're going to survive. I know that you're big and you're strong and you can shoot guns really, really well. But you're going to have to do more. You're going to have to do better. I have no reason to want to hurt you or your crew. I very much don't want that. None of us do. In fact, we wanted to be friends. We wanted to work together. But your lack of trust with Idris, with Edenor, with Lycus, with me, it's hurting you.
You did just, in terms of Cassius, she did just announce what a good liar she was.
Yeah, and I use my skills when I need to. But this is not one of those moments.
And how am I to know that?
Well, it's called trust. It's called faith. You're never gonna know. But you have to take a leap of faith sometimes, and...
The last time I trusted your crew, it was made very plain that my well-being was not a priority.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
I'm referring to your captain instructing Lee Idris that should anything happen to me, to leave me behind. Should it come to that.
What a crybaby.
I can't speak to whatever Lycus said to you or to Idris, but all I can tell you is that I trust those people and they're very important to me, just as your crew is important to you.
Of which a part Klink is now.
Great. Is there anything I can say to change your mind.
I would be willing to allow a meeting of you with Klink, because I will admit I understand the need to protect family, but I have two conditions. The first is I will be present in this meeting.
Fine.
The second,
Done.
the second is that there is an item in your crew's possession which I desire. If you provide Luna's decanter, then perhaps I will arrange your meeting.
Well, I'll have to talk to the crew about that. It's not really my decision to make alone.
Fair enough. That is the offer I have for you.
And when you say you will allow us to converse with Klink, are you going to give Klink the opportunity to make a choice after that conversation?
Choice on one matter. To join your crew.
Not to join our crew. To go with my father to save my mother.
Very well.
You will allow Klink
Of
the
course.
decision for themselves.
Of course I will allow Klink to make the decision. If you manage to somehow persuade them that it is safer to travel with your father than it is as a part of my crew, and she decides that that is in her best interest, she's free to make that choice.
All right, well, I'll have to go talk to the crew, and I will get back to you on the decanter. But listen, Captain Hammond, really think about what I said. Trust is how we survive.
I fully intended to trust you all. Believe me. And he looks you dead in the eye. Right? Easy insight check. I was prepared to trust all of you. But after it became apparent that you had been caught lying to my crew, it also became clear that Luna allowed the Frog Grove to suffer. And Lycus being cavalier with my attitude, with my well-being. It's three items that don't make for good allies. If you had an ally like that, what would you feel like?
All I can say to that is all three of those things you've described, you don't have the full story. You don't know what you're making your judgment based on.
I'm making my judgment based on what is best for me and mine, as I'm sure you are doing as well. Perhaps you had reasons to lie to my crew, perhaps Luna has a reason to watch the Frog Grove suffer, and perhaps Lycus had a reason to tell Idris that if I should come to harm, it is of no consequence to him.
And you don't care about those reasons? You don't care about truth or what really our intentions really were? You don't care about the fact that I did not lie to your crew? I lied to Ulrich once and I fessed up about it, and now you're allowing that single incident to affect your perception of the whole crew? I mean, it's just not fair. Anyway, I'm really actually done having this conversation, so think about what I said, and otherwise I just feel sorry for you, okay?
You know the conditions. You know where to find me.
All right. And I'll walk away.
Okay.
So, Luna, how quickly do you think we could destroy this ship with our cannons?
Are you in the ship still?
Yeah, but we're quiet.
Right,
just
They're
whispering.
both outside the door.
Just whispering enough to scare out.
To Ulrich? Oh, okay. Okay. Roll.
No,
If Luna, you can roll Intimidate. If you are feeding into this, if you're part of this, go ahead and roll it at advantage.
Yeah, so when you asked me, we have quite a few cannons. We have a mortar. I would say in around 6 seconds.
Yeah, I really don't want to fight them. These guys are mostly good people.
Yeah. Him would be so sad if something happened to Ulrich too.
I know.
I just want to let you know, at this point, like, how long has this conversation taken? Because I'm back up on the ship at this point.
I would say you
We're
can
on the
make it
way.
you can make it to the lift. So
Yep.
you still need to I would say you're at the lift and you're about to ride it up.
Okay.
You could probably get there faster with your wings if you still have wings, but other than
I
up to you.
think did I get them with the level up though? Like everything repopped, or how?
No. No.
Okay.
No,
I
it's
just
not like
I didn't
RPGs
think
where
so.
everything
Yeah, I
resets.
just
Okay.
wanted to make sure because
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so
technically,
I would say
resets,
you're
but-
you're just at the lift. So
Okay.
lift up and then do what you got to do and then come back down. So that about there.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
That's a total of 21 for intimidation. Or if you want persuasion, I don't know. I'll switch it
Up
up.
to you. Which I mean, it's a threat of. It's kind of a threat, right? It's like, oh, we can
Yeah.
destroy you in 6 seconds. So that seems more intimidating than persuasive.
It does. It does. Yeah. That's a 19. That's a 21. Sorry. And yeah. Hope we don't have to fight, but we definitely can. I suppose.
I'm also going to add, because I'll be speaking to the door just for Ulrich to hear me.
Mhm.
Listen, Ulrich, you've seen my proficiency with magical arts. I may have used it to see what your thoughts are on Pim. I've seen how you've looked at her. You don't open this door right now, I'm going to tell her everything.
Ooh.
So unfortunately, I already gave you guys advantage on the intimidation check.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that out.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's a really solid check, though. It's a really solid check. I would say Ulrich. So what you guys know of Ulrich, while yes, he is infatuated with Pim, the other thing you know is that Ulrich is loyal to his crew. He's announced how proud he is on a couple of occasions of his role. And at this point, he says with a shaky voice, "Captain's orders."
Damn. This kid's good. I like him.
Yeah.
Pim, you're back with the group.
Okay, guys, that didn't go very well. So Captain Hammond will allow us to speak with Klink under 2 conditions. Number 1, Hammond is present, and number 2, we give the water flask to the village. Or to his crew, did he say?
He said to his crew.
To him.
To him.
He did state to him. So you can
no.
make whatever assumptions of that as you like.
No. We agreed earlier that he would investigate it with oversight from Luna to try and duplicate it. Now he's just trying to get more.
Ooh, I don't like this guy. Hang on. I'll be right back.
He shot out my eye, betrayed my friend, sent him to prison. I'm starting to get real antsy. If we meet him out in the air, oh, it's pirate time.
I run back up to Hammond with new conditions.
Okay.
Captain Hammond.
You knock on the door. Cassius sticks the head out, looks around. Oh, opens the door up for you.
Captain Hammond, we have a counter
quick.
proposal.
Okay.
We're not going to give you the flask, not for good at least. We'll allow you to investigate it, though, as you previously agreed upon with Captain Lycus. And you may be present for the meeting with Klink.
An additional condition. Edenor is not allowed to be present during the meeting.
Sure.
Very well.
I reach a hand up to his giant hippo hand.
And he swallows it with his
My
big
whole body
meaty
shakes.
fist. Yeah.
All right.
He says, "Cassius, at the goblin." Cassius nods. Offers gestures for you to take a seat if you'd like, Pim, to one of the chairs in the cabin.
I need to go retrieve my father. He needs to be a part of this conversation.
Very well. It's a family matter, I understand. Cassius walks up to you, Lycus, and Luna. Edenor, at this point, you are on the deck of the ship. What do you do?
I am going to immediately state general quarters.
Jackrabbit
Prepare.
has got the guy. Jackrabbit has like 2 people doing push-ups. There's like lightning
Jackrabbits.
crackling in his fingers. Oh, hey!
Hop to it quietly and quickly. I want catapult loaded and aimed and sighted along with the mortar on the wild hunt. Do not move the air cannons as of this moment. We are going to be prepared. No questions at this moment. We will elaborate later.
Roll intimidate.
Hopefully no one looks up.
Well, that's why I'm not moving the cannons yet. It's just the catapult that's on the deck and the mortar.
Okay.
So that would be a +7. So that is a 23, sir.
Okay. The crew all look nervous and stuff. And
You look nervous. Quickly now! Quickly
they
now!
hop too. Jackrabbit, Temerity is... We'll say Temerity actually joined you at the lift and came up with you.
Yep.
Slight scent of maybe some type of alcohol on the breath. Looks at you and pats you on the shoulder and just whispers close as everybody's getting the catapult ready. My lord, is everything okay? Sorry, different accent. My lord, is everything all right?
It seems that one of our prisoners that we require information out of has been hijacked by Hammond, and I am sick and tired of this traitorous foe.
Term. All right. Well, we'll do as you ask, but the term you're looking for is Shanghai. I don't know what Shanghai is, but that's the term.
That is a good term, and I prefer it. You know,
Crew is working.
Is just like eyes are kind of like purple at this point.
Okay,
It's just
so
rage.
Are they? Do you want them to try to be quiet about the setup?
Yes, quietly.
Okay. I want you
stated
to
that
roll.
in the beginning.
You
yes.
roll to that stuff. You roll that stealth check for me. It's going to be a flat check.
So it's a flat check. So okay, good.
Flat check.
I prefer the flat check because I'm wearing armor. So.
And I'm going to wait. Time out. I say PC for you to do this without them knowing. You're looking for 14.
Okay. So can I keep what I just rolled, which was a 16?
Yeah.
Because
fine.
I rolled it as you said that
That's
for the
fine.
DC. I'm like,
So, yes, you guys are working the catapult. So the ship's at kind of a little bit of an angle. So you guys are working to kind of... The catapult does have a cogwheel at the bottom, so it can actually kind of like... And you guys are just kind of slowly doing that. Jackrabbit's kind of looking down, and every time somebody looks up, he says... As you guys are setting the catapult into position.
yes, very good crew. I'm very proud of you all.
All the
Now-
guns pointing.
Temerity has like just the biggest smile and kind of like nudges one of the crew members. Did you hear that?
In preparation, I want you to be close to the air cannons. We're not moving them yet. And also, what is the maximum depression on the air cannons? Would I be aware if they could even get low enough to hit, or no?
I will say, unfortunately for the air cannons, you will need to actually turn the ship.
Okay.
Right?
So
So
at this point-
you guys would have to make a 90-degree turn to aim the cannons, at least on
Okay.
one side. Like right now, the stern is to the ship, to the Wild Hunt. So the catapult can turn around and like sling backwards. That's fine.
Mhm.
But to get the cannons on there, you'll have to actually do a 90-degree turn, and you'd get like either your starboard side or your port side cannons over the Hunt.
Okay. At this point, we are going to maintain this position. If anything, and if I signal, I want to be prepared for a 90-degree turn and to depress the cannons to be able to present them. But that would be after we would decide to launch. So we can maintain our current aim. Stay at the ready and alert. I'm going to observe at this moment. Actually, I will...
Temerity is standing there and goes like, "Aye, sir, that's exactly whatever you say." And Jackrabbit goes, "Hey, shut the fuck up." "Yes, sir, whatever you say."
Very good. Now I expect precision if anything is to arise. Due to the current condition, I must go back down below. All of you, stay up here. Be ready. Don't do anything unless there is a signal initiated by me. So since we leveled up, I do have a cantrip now for firebolt. Is that permitted that I have access to that now?
Yeah. You
Okay.
you have your cantrip, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can produce a firebolt of whatever color and size,
Yes.
color of your choice.
I will state, if I shoot a firebolt, a purple firebolt, directly into the air, you know it is go time. And we may still be within the wild hunt, but you must do what you must do. And we will adjust.
They look
You must trust
nervously
my
at that.
judgment on this.
And
That's
just to
crazy.
just to be perfectly clear, we don't have to worry about any sort of like repercussions from the captain or anything, right? I once saw him tear a man's head off.
No, this is under my prerogative. So if there are any issues, Lycus will come to me and address it with me. If there will be no repercussions that will flow downhill, I take full responsibility.
It's most magnanimous of you, my lord. Didn't I tell you to shut the fuck up? You got it, boss.
Also,
Okay.
Jack, be a little nicer, just a smidge. But I enjoy the enthusiasm, but just a smidge. But I did like the lightning and the push-ups, very good. And then I'm gonna head down.
Okay.
Remember, signal.
As you're going again with your passive perception, it says, "All right, you bastards, you heard the man. I'm in charge."
And then, do I see the girls kind of running around at all?
Yeah, they're playing in the rigging of the Wild Hunt as you're making.
Okay.
Your way. They're still on the deck.
I'm just gonna yell up to the girls. Girls, I believe that Jackrabbit might have some sweets for you up on deck.
This fucking roll deception, please.
So that sweet. Oh, all right, I'll take it. So deception is going to be an 18.
I rolled a nat 20 for the girls.
Oh fuck.
I get fucked.
You say that, and I'll say Sarah's like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay." Yoma is looking at you and be like, "No, what's going on?"
And then as they come up to me, kind of, I assume they climb down and come over to me as I'm kind of
Yeah.
walking over. Please get on the deck. Be safe. Things are getting a little tense. Don't be casual. Take care of your sister and just head up to the deck.
Kind of brings Sarah close and says, "All right, okay, be safe. Look out for the captain."
Of course.
And they start making their way off the deck. At this point, so while that's happening, Cassius has now encountered Lycus and Luna outside of Ulrich's door. Cassius looks at the two of you up and down. Goes, "Can I help you?"
Sure.
Oh yeah, door's locked.
Yeah.
Doors tend to do that to keep people out.
I agree. We just need something in there. Can you open it?
In a minute, kind of steps in to the two of you a little bit, kind of asserting some space. Knocks on the door, and kind of eyes still glued on the two of you. Ulrich, Captain wants you and Klink in his quarters. Cassius kind of steps between the two of you as there's the door opens, and Ulrich doesn't make eye contact with the two of you, kind of pushing Klink at the shoulders, like just behind the shoulders, past behind Cassius towards the captain's room. And Cassius kind of closes the door, pulls a key out, locks it, and goes, "As you were," and starts backing up towards, now escorting Ulrich and Klink down the hall towards Hammond. You see them take the corner and disappear behind the door. Tim, you are on the deck.
I'm
you
going
see
to
Edenor-
retrieve Brock.
Yeah, you're retrieving Brock. So the way the timeline kind of works out here, it's a little wonky, but I would say you're on the deck around the time that Edenor is instructing the girls. So if you wanted to do any sort of interaction with Edenor, the girls are taking, kind of leaving as you are collecting Brock.
So Edenor is up on the deck of
Yes.
our ship.
No.
I'm
Edenor
back
just
down.
instructed the girls. He's on the Wild Hunt. So he just instructed the girls to go towards your ship.
Got it.
But he's like, you, Brock, and Edenor are all currently on the deck of the Wild Hunt.
Okay. No, I'm focused on getting Brock. So,
All right, guys. We have an opportunity to convince Klink to help you, Dad, and Gazalik to go rescue Mom.
Was Klink found?
Klink was found. Klink has agreed to join the crew of the Wild Hunt, but we're gonna see if we can change your mind. So.
Well, I have done some preparations.
Meaning.
Yeah, Brock also kind of arches an eyebrow. Preparations. What are you talking?
If things get hostile, we are ready.
Oh.
Things get hostile.
No. We're not trying to cause any trouble. We don't want to hurt anyone, Edenor.
Oh,
It's
I'm
very
not trying.
important.
I'm not here to cause trouble, but I no longer trust these people. So we are going to be prepared.
Yeah. There's a lot of that distrust going around.
Yes, there is, and I will be happy when we are rid of this Wild Hunt crew. Anyways, continue. I apologize. I just wanted to make sure that was abundantly clear.
Okay, just don't
I'm not going to do
do
anything.
anything.
I'm not going to do anything.
rash. Okay.
If something happens, we are prepared. That is all I wish to convey.
Okay. Thank you.
And the girls are safe.
Good.
Or will be
good.
shortly.
Dad, if you'll please come with me. And
course.
As we're walking and talking, I just say to him,
Okay, so listen. I'm gonna introduce you to the captain of this ship. His name is Hammond Flintlock.
Okay.
He's a very distrustful man, so don't give him any reason beyond your association with me to distrust you.
Why wouldn't he trust you?
He's very protective of his crew.
Okay. Sounds like a good captain in my book. But I'm open to meeting him. Sure.
Yeah.
And
So
the goblin will be there.
the goblin will be there. Her name is Klink.
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
And no magic. We agreed, right?
No magic. Got it.
Okay. Just tread carefully.
Do my best.
Okay. Let's go.
Edenor, while you are kind of on the deck of the ship, right? There's still some celebration going on at having not to have to fight the ship. A couple of the Wild Hunt crew come up to you and they're like, "Hey, man, thanks very much for rescuing us from those snake people. Let's get this guy around. Come on!" Right? And there's a little bit of revelry still residual in the air.
Is Idris's crew around at all?
I would say
Or they just
the most like this is kind of like just kind of like the watch crew right now.
Okay.
Considerable portion of the Wild Hunt's crew went with the UNT2. The primary venue of the celebration is Wubba Dub's tree.
Gotcha. All right.
So
Makes me feel a little better.
yeah. So just again, someone offers you a tankard of ale. Says, "Man, what fortune you guys showed up, huh?" And hands you that.
I'm going to take it. Say, thank you.
Thank you, citizen.
Yes. I appreciate the well wishes. And then I'm just gonna look at it. I actually can't have this at this exact moment. Since the battle, I tried not to drink alcohol immediately for 24 hours in respect to Tazrin.
Weird, but okay.
Drink it for me, would you?
Don't have to ask me twice. All right, guys. And they start just kind of like knocking them back.
Perfect.
So the crew is drinking heavily.
Gotcha.
Okay. Pim and Brock, you guys.
Can I head down for a moment to see where Lycus is?
Sure. I would say I was going to say Luna, Pim and Brock. We'll get to you guys in a moment as you guys are about to head into the room. But I'll give Lycus and Luna. You guys can meet up with Edenor as he is kind of coming down. You see Pim and Brock heading into the room, and the three of you are in the hall. Cassius will close the door, open the door for Pim and Brock, close it, and stand again, leaning against the doorway, looking, just kind of keeping an eye on the three of you.
I'm feeling quite left out lately. What do you think, Lycus? I feel like they're trying to send a message.
I don't know about you, but I feel like these guys are really overstepping their abilities. But what are you gonna do? You save people's lives, and then they just complain.
It is fine. I would like to be updated on any additional details that have transpired.
Oh, we'll have to wait on our conversation.
Oh, was there nothing else that happened between when I stepped off since?
Hammond tried to kind of go back on our deal with the flask, but it looks
See, like a little eye twitch for Ednor.
But of course,
To be fair, Pim
is
stormed
handling-
out before we could bring up the original deal.
Pim is handling it though.
Very well.
You know what happens when Pim handles the situation. We don't fight a dragon, and that's always a win.
That is fair. But I guess we are prepared for all eventualities.
How loudly do you say that?
Quietly.
Roll stealth.
So?
Not a disadvantage because you're not moving around.
It's true. That's true. And I got an 18 with the +2, so that's dirty 20.
Okay.
Thank God I didn't roll what I rolled for an investigation earlier.
Okay. All right.
So
I'm just gonna. And all I say is that we're prepared for all eventualities. So.
Yep, that's fine. Okay. Pim, you and your father enter into the captain's quarters.
before we walk in,
Yeah.
maybe just down the hall, I'll actually say to Brock, I'm wondering if, do you want to have this conversation with Captain Hammond by yourself? I just don't know if my presence will harm or help.
Rests a hand on your shoulder and squeezes reassuringly and says, Pim, everything's gone to shit. But if there's one thing that's clear to me, it's that things seem to be working out for you. You know this man. You know this goblin. You saved me. You have more right to be in that room than I do. Come on.
Okay.
Door opens. Door shuts. And we're going to take our first break.
Okay.
Good job, guys.
Okay.
This is tense.
Tense.
Yeah, okay. All right. We will be back in a moment. So I guess I don't know if that's edited out or whatever.
It will be now.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Alrighty. So we have one small retcon. Luna is going to be joining Pim and Brock as they enter into Hammond's quarters, leaving Lycus and Edenor and Cassius out in the hallway.
Arm wrestling?
If you'd like, with each other.
Arm wrestling.
While Cassius kind of just stares on. But Pim, Brock, and Luna, you enter into the captain's quarters. Again, this is a space you've been in before. Numerous trophies of different animals, relics of like fancy guns. Imagine like what Alan Quartermain's office would look like. You're there, big game hunter. So the three of you enter into this space. Hammond is present, as well as Ulrich, who is standing next to a small goblin with little goggles on the head, female in appearance. And Klink is just kind of knocking the feet up and down, looks curiously to see, who kind of walks in. Hello,
everyone. Dad, this is Captain Hammond, Ulrich, our healer, and Klink. And everyone, this is Brock Knackle, my father.
Nice to meet all of you. We've met. Good to see you again, Ulrich. Kind of waves. Hammond and Brock share a handshake. And Brock kind of looks around and goes, "Oh, is everybody just a little tense, or am I just picking up on something?"
Laughs nervously.
Right.
So the reason we're here, Klink, I know that you have recently taken up as part of Captain Hammond's crew of the Wild Hunt. My father and I would like to present an alternative path for you, and we've all agreed, Captain Hammond included, to allow you to choose your own path after you've heard the arguments from both sides. So
Hammond just raises a hand and goes, "Before we get started, Luna, do you have the decanter?"
Yes.
And you are willing to let me examine it under your supervision to see if I can replicate the spell?
Oh, of course. Any opportunity for me to learn how to do the art of enchantments, I'll do it.
Looks very well. Then proceed. Excuse my interruption. Klink looks to Hammond and goes, yes. Let's see. Seems I'm in high demand. But from what I can understand here, seems I'm safer with the captain and his crew versus what protection can you offer me, essentially?
Yeah, you haven't heard from us yet, so, Dad, why don't you tell Klink what you have in mind?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I have nothing in mind. What am I protecting you from?
Hold on, above table. Isn't Brock the one who wanted Klink to join
Brock wants
him?
Klink, yes, but Brock was not made aware of, no. Brock wants to talk to Klink and learn what Klink knows, right? You were saying to take Klink with.
Oh my god, I thought Brock wanted Klink to take Klink with him.
Regardless, though. Even if Brock wants to take Klink with, the question still stands. So back in game, what am I protecting you from? Klink looks to everybody and goes, well, there's that crazy angel man. He killed my friends, and he's going to kill me if I don't have protection.
Let's back up here for a second. Why don't you tell Captain Hammond the truth? Why did Edenor kill your friends?
Looks at Hammond. Because he hates goblins? I don't know. He's a racist? Probably.
You're lying.
What do you mean I'm lying?
What were you doing in that hut before Edenor got there?
Taking shelter from the storm, like everybody else.
I look at Brock, and I look at Captain Hammond, and I look at Klink. And I say, you know what? Let's all just make a pact to tell the truth. And I do
Ulrich's,
a
like, nodding.
small motion with my hands, and I am actually going to cast Zone of Truth here.
Okay. As you go to cast, Hammond kind of like tenses, and when Hammond tenses, Brock tenses, and Hammond goes, "Hang on now. How do I know that's what you're casting? You won't cast anything to influence her mind."
It's not going to influence her mind. It's just going to ensure that everybody tells the truth here. Isn't that what you want?
He's looking directly at you. You're looking directly at him. Roll me a persuasion check.
Inspiration.
Yeah, everybody has inspiration.
No, I just have to check something. Is it deception or persuasion that I take? Deception. Shit. Okay, so it's still pretty good. It's gonna be a 17.
And it is a persuasive argument. There is no deception to it. You genuinely agree
Yes.
that everybody should look. And Hammond agrees with you, actually. I gotta say, guys, this is my 4th nat 20 of the game for an insight check. Like, I'm rolling fire today. But Hammond looks at you and looks at Ulrich, who kind of nods to him.
And I look at my dad and I just shrug. I know I said no magic, but-
He shrugs back and he's like, "I trust you, darling.
All right then.
As do I. Cast your spell."
Alright.
While you're casting your spell, can I get an insight check from Luna?
Oh. Yeah, you guys are right. I'm gonna I'll get my physical dice. That was a that was a nat 1, so 9.
You do have your inspiration.
You have an inspiration, right? One for remembering Klink's name and one for
Yeah, so you got double
Okay,
inspiration.
I'll
You have two
use
right
I'll use an inspiration to
guess.
see the fun of it.
That's right. We're not in Pathfinder yet. Yeah, so you just
That
have one,
was
right? Sorry.
that was it rolled a 4. My last 4 rolls on Google was an 8, 5, 1, and a 4. So no, I think I'm gonna.
Disc.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Unfortunately, your roll is unable to pick up on anything at the moment. But Pim, any flavor to your casting that you would like to share with us?
No, I just sort of rub my hands together and snap with both fingers, and a small green glittery dust kind of comes out of my fingertips and disperses in the whole room. It's almost like they're inhaling the truth spell.
Okay. Everybody kind of like Hammond and Ulrich kind of like looks around. Hammond kind of a careful inhale. Klink kind of like you can visibly see Klink like as was holding the breath, but does the inhale.
So
Your
it's a
Zone of Truth spell is
it's
active.
a roll actually.
Oh,
Everyone
do
gets a charisma save, 16.
Okay. Well, I think Klink is the only one that would try to resist at the moment anyway, so okay. Do you know the result, I believe, of the Zone of Truth? I think the text says that you know the result.
We've had this talk before, I think. So,
You
yeah.
know whether each creature succeeds or fails, yeah.
Okay. Everybody except Klink, we'll say everybody failed.
Everybody failed.
Roll
Klink
a
failed?
5.
Okay, good.
Yep. So, Zone of Truth is up and running.
Okay.
Everybody now, what is it? Cannot lie, right? Or
Yeah, cannot like tell a knowing lie, basically.
Okay.
I can send you. Do you want the text?
it's okay.
I think it's
sorry.
like you can't lie. You don't have to tell the truth. You can just stay silent. Was
Sure.
another thing.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, or you can like be evasive, but you have
Yes.
to stay within the boundaries of truth.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So continue.
All right.
All right. Your spell is cast.
Let me ask you one more time, Klink. What were you doing in the hut before Edenor discovered you?
Like I said, my friends and I were all just getting shelter from the storm.
Were you planning to escape?
We were planning to build the tower.
You were planning to build the tower?
Yeah, yes, looks at Captain. There was the tower, the watchtower. We were going to build it for you, as Captain Lycus had instructed.
And what were you planning to do when you finished building the tower?
Well, look out. Be vigilant, I suppose.
For what?
Any sort of threat?
Were you going to signal someone?
Signal someone.
Yes or no? Were you going to send a signal to anyone from that tower?
Well, once you build a tower, people tend to notice.
Klink? Yes or no?
Klink, answer the question. Ulrich is also kind of like looking down at Klink. Well, like I said, you build a tower, it's up in the air, maybe it catches the eye of something passing by. I used to say people notice things. Klink, where are you going? Signal someone to the frog with that tower.
You see? She can't answer the question.
Hammond nods his head. Klink, were you hoping to signal people that would bring trouble to this place? As you see Hammond kind of like now walking over towards Klink. Even you guys outside, you feel like there's a little bit of a tremble in the floor when a creature the size of Hammond, moves on a wooden ship. Like even you guys out in the hallway, you hear the heavy footsteps as Hammond kind of moves over and is now kind of looking over Klink. Did Edenor find you plotting to harm this place? He's a murderer, okay? He killed my friends. He said he would let us go. He said he was going to bring us to justice, and if we went with him, everything would be all right. And then he killed 3 of us.
Because you were plotting to escape and signal to someone to come harm the village. Yes or no?
Look, I just want to stay alive, all right? You want to talk about your mother? I know about your mother.
I do want to talk about my mother, but first I need to prove something to Captain Hammond. And that is that you were right. You do need to be careful about who you trust.
Hammond looks down at Klink, and I don't think he needs to really say that Klink is in trouble. Listen, Klink. You will tell Armenia and her father what you know about her mother. Now! And he like yells at Klink. Klink just falls out of the chair. And he's like, all right. What do you want to know?
Do you know my mother, Brina?
I've seen a gnome that looks like you. I don't know her.
Where did you see her?
At our camp.
When?
Shit, man. A couple weeks ago.
Where's your camp?
The Iron Hills. We've retreated to the Iron Hills. The conquering host, we have little outposts where we can where we'd fall back to in case of emergencies. And when the dragon happened and then the floods, and well, the Lesh told us to head out there, all right? And look, I don't know where your mother is, but I can tell you she's probably okay.
I don't care whether or not you think she's okay. I care about what you know. How many goblins are in the outpost?
Hundreds, thousand, maybe. The whole city, the entire conquering host. They're there in the Iron Hills.
So they're no longer in Mildon or Dun.
No, the dragon saw to that. But I imagine reclaiming the city is pretty high up on the Lesh's list of things to do.
Valesh. Have I heard that name, DM?
The Lesh is well. Let's do history checks, both you and Luna.
Okay.
All right, this is my last attempt using
Ooh.
Google to roll.
Nat 20, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Total of
Dirt.
24.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Luna, you know the term Lesh refers to the goblin's leader. It is goblin for warlord. Pim, you know not only that information, but you also know that our dogs are wrestling.
Oh my
behind
God.
me. You also know that the current Lesh, or that there was a dispute. Sorry, there was a dispute amongst the goblins. You had been warned about a potential civil war between the Lesh Proudmask,
Oh, right.
who was, as far as you were told, the current Lesh. But you knew that there was a struggle for power with a more nativist group called the Heirs of Dalmacin, led by an individual named Vrakaron Shred. So you knew there was a power struggle at one point.
Okay. Who does Lesh Proudmask serve?
I imagine whatever Erosian god he decided to link up with. Probably the god of death.
Probably. So you don't know?
Well, can't tell you what a corpse is doing nowadays.
So Vrakaron Shred has come to power then?
See a look slightly taken aback. You know of Vrakaron Shred.
Answer the question.
Yes, the heirs of Dalmacin are in control of the conquering host. Vrakaron Shred is the new warlord.
And do all the goblins remain loyal to Vrakaron Shred?
If they know what's good for them.
Are there still goblins who remain loyal to the late Lesh Proudmask?
Maybe. Look, it's a big army, all right? I was just part of one legion. I worked with the airships.
How many airships are there?
I don't know. They're making more all the time, but I think nine at last count. They're all under the control of the Ganudur, the mistress of the graves, who currently employs your mother in her service.
In this in the outpost? What was the a name for the place?
The Iron Hills.
The Iron Hills, thank you. In the Iron Hills is where the Mistress of Graves works out of?
Well, like I said, she leads the Airship Legion.
Mm.
She can be wherever the fuck she wants.
What are the goblins trying to accomplish with the
Well-
legions of airships?
Well, we're just one small part of the conquering host, you see. Every legion has their own thing that they do. We're the Airship Legion, there's the infantry, there's a cavalry, there's all sorts of different
And do the
pieces
do the
to
legions work together, or do they have their own?
Yeah, of course, we have our own leaders, but the Lesh is still big guy up top. But he does decide what the conquering host targets next. Me and my crew, we were part of a scouting mission. We're keeping an eye on Muldan Ordan, making sure the dragon's not getting any crazy ideas, and then we'd report back and just let him know how things were moving. But where the conquering host is moving next, that's a question you might want to ask Mr. Les Shredder yourself.
Yeah, well...
Smile, has like kind of like a wicked smile at that notion of you meeting.
Yeah. Well, I don't have Shred here. I've got you. So, let me ask you a few more questions. Where does the allegiance lie of the conquering host?
With their leader, with the Lesh.
Yes, but what does the Lesh want? What is the goal? Just to conquer or serve someone above them, or?
Well, we're gonna bring everyone together. We're gonna make an army. And then I imagine the Lesh is gonna kick the Monarch's ass. But
So,
you can see, I can see, looking at the group here, that our idea might not be, maybe that suggestion isn't something you all want to hear. Any of you guys looking to join an army?
you're funny. No, so the conquering host is fighting the monarch, or wants to fight the monarch, is also fighting, or at least not in support of the dragons coming to power. So it almost seems like, in some ways, our goals align.
We're the good guys, that's what I'm saying.
Well, let's not get carried away, but in a way,
That's why your friend's kind of a problem. I mean, okay.
we have some of the same goals. Would you agree?
Well, I think we both don't like that moon. But if you guys are looking to have a conversation with the Lesh, hey, keep me alive. Maybe I can arrange something.
Dad, Luna, jump in anytime.
Some of our goals might match. I'm not sure if the slavery part quite aligns. I do like the idea of bringing you along to perhaps have as a bargaining chip to have this discussion with the Lesh.
Kind of like is about to say something and pauses. Insight checks, please.
Uh, 27
Okay.
or 24.
Okay. You, Luna, Pim, you picked up that Klink was about to say something, but caught herself. Luna, you picked up on. She seemed like she was about to kind of make a little bit of an observation. Something was about to be suggested, and now she is abruptly changing course, probably in such a way to as influence your thinking towards this and not perhaps the opposite. And she goes, yes, definitely. Keep me alive, and the Lesh will be very happy to talk to you.
Yeah. Would that put well, no, that's an obvious answer. I mean, we'd be... I guess I will ask again.
Hang on, Luna, you wanted to say something?
Trying to
You muted?
recall.
No, you're not.
No, I'm here. I'm trying to recall. In each of these, in your scouting ship, were there ranks amongst the people, amongst your group?
Yeah, of course. Like any ship, there's a captain, and then crew, and then folks that helped out.
Okay. You would report to the Mistress of the Graves, not the Lesh directly.
And the Mistress
Does
of the
m-
Graves reports directly to Lesh.
Oh, I think the Mistress of the Graves probably does a little bit more than report to the Lesh, if just between you and I. I think there's
Expand on that.
Might be a well.
Is there
They're
no
close.
set
They're close.
schedule? You said the Mistress of the Graves tends to roam around, for example. Is there no set schedule when they return back to the base?
Yes, but we missed that when we were when we were captured by those UNT. So where she is now, I can't say. We missed our check-in.
Can you kick the
Okay.
dogs out and shut the door, David?
We'll just push it open.
Oh, it's right. It doesn't latch. Wouldn't you have any fear of punishment for all this information you're giving us now if we were to take you to Ganadur?
Take an inspiration point, Pim.
I'm gonna pass that along to Lycus because he posted that in player chat. So credit is due.
Okay, Lycus, take an inspiration point. I appreciate you guys being honest. You know what, Pim, take one as well for honesty.
I already have one, but thank you.
Oh, okay, then never mind. Eleanor, you get it. No, actually, no. So,
Luna used up Luna.
Sorry, Luna.
sorry, Luna.
No inspiration for Gretchen.
No
Waiters.
inspiration for
Bye.
Go ahead.
So, one thing, you're not close with goblin kind, Pim. Luna, there were a few goblins in Azafast, but you know that there's a definite hierarchy in their society. Tends to go goblins, then hobgoblins. Bugbears are somewhere in the middle, as also like a species of their kind. But goblins tend to generally be the lowest rung unless they have like exceptional talent or something like that, right? The arrangement between these castes isn't exactly what any of us would consider humane.
Mhm.
So, one of the things you picked up earlier with your really excellent insight was that she's trying to kind of steer you guys, but kind of maybe away from this particular avenue. That, yes, there might be repercussions to Klink.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. You last saw a gnome who looked like me, working for Ganadur, the Mistress of the Graves, in the Ironwood Hills a few weeks ago. Is all that correct?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Got it. But if you want an in with the mistress, familiar face might help.
What would happen if we brought you directly to Les Shred?
Damn you, spell. We'd all die. That's pretty much what would happen. He would kill all of us. He'd kill you, me.
Yeah, got it. This Mistress of the Graves, is she, you said they were close. Does she serve Les Shred?
Well, let's just get this out there. Pretty much we all do. But she seems to be special. In more ways than one, actually. She's not even of our kind. She's not a hobgoblin or a goblin. But one of those elemental kind of people.
Could you?
What element? What element?
Fire.
Fire.
The two of you can tell without a check. She's suggesting fire genasi.
Interesting. I look at my dad. Is he reacting to any of this?
He's kind of just observing. He's letting you kind of take the lead on this, and he's just kind of like watching. You passive insight, you get like a sense of admiration. He's proud of you.
Okay. All right, guys, we got a minute or two left.
One more thing. I'll just try this just out of curiosity, and because I'm recalling how that spell works. Could you describe how the Mistress of the Graves looks to your best capability? You might be able to communicate. Maybe it's one of the options to communicate with her over long distance.
Well, kind of does like an hourglass shape. Long, fiery hair, shaved on the sides, but long mane, bright green eyes, red skin, and no, I don't know. Honestly, all you tall folks kind of look the same after a while.
No, that was honest.
Okay, then.
You said the mistress is special. What do you mean by that? She doesn't She doesn't really serve Lesh Shred directly?
She's, well, there's a rumor that they're lovers. He seems to be pretty taken up with her. He senses a small sense of jealousy, passive insights.
Oh.
Hammond goes, so now you've told us where. It looks to yourself and Brock. At least now you have a lead of where your mother and wife might be. The Iron Hills seems a good place to start then.
Indeed. And while we're all telling the truth here, I just want you to know, Captain Hammond, that I never intentionally lied to your crew, with the exception of one little white lie to Ulrich, which I fessed up to immediately afterwards. Otherwise, by penalty of whatever you deem appropriate, I swear that I did not intentionally lie to your crew, okay?
Ulrich kind of pipes up and goes, and for what it's worth, I completely forgive her.
Thank you.
Blushes. Hammond goes, very well. Forgive me for my protectiveness. My crew are my family. And given the state of things, family might be more precious than anything else. And
Pim
Brock
looks
kind
to
of
her father. Yeah.
he looks back to you, and there's like a nod.
All right, about 30 seconds left. Anyone want to get anything off their chest?
Ulrich looks
lied.
directly at you, Luna, at the moment, and is just kind of like,
You know the Grinch?
trying to be subtle. Every time Pim looks back, it's like,
All
I'll
right.
save that.
okay.
Then the
Spell runs out,
dissipates.
and Hammond, Klink goes, so, what happens with, I'll let the crew of the Merry Folk decide your fate. Consider it, and he kind of like pushes Klink towards you, Pim. He says, consider that an olive branch.
There's a nod. Then I guess we're done here. And I walk over to the door to open it. Lycus and Edenor and
Cassius.
Are standing there.
Yeah, all three of them are just kind of like, well, I don't know about them, but Cassius is like keeping an eye on them.
Oh,
Like, if you fucking move.
Same.
I was gonna be like, if you would let me, I want to like show Cassius my wounds. Just like, oh, dude, check this out. Like, just
Says-
super cash.
And
Well,
yeah,
you're
Cassius goes.
Yeah, Thor's not
Cassius
Cash.
goes. Yes, the captain has a certain effect on people.
I mean, it just made me cool. I mean, look at this thing. Yeah, sometimes I cry blood, but it's.
At this point, I open the door and I invite them in. I say, Edenor, Captain Lycus, I believe we need to move Klink into the brig of our ship.
Very well. You just see a big old grin.
And hold on. While you're here, Edenor, Lycus, Captain Hammond, is there anything you would like to say to these two men?
Godspeed, gentlemen.
Yeah, good
That's
enough.
all I need.
Fair enough.
Which, honestly, knowing Ednor, that's pretty fucking fast.
Yes.
So at this point, we take Klink and the rest of our prisoners to our own brig, I suppose.
Sure. I'll say, for brevity's sake, that just kind of goes. That can happen pretty smoothly.
Okay.
I'll-
I am gonna go onto the deck, just look up to the our ship, and just kind of go, just kind of signal just to stand down.
Yeah, as you start doing that, perception checks from the rest of the crew.
That's good.
It looked like I was trying to like stretch, but I'm like, nah, it's okay,
20.
we're cool."
20. You see Jack. You see like a couple crackles of lightning along the deck as Jackrabbit kind of like gets into like a fighting stance, and then you see very quickly Temerity, the tiefling, kind of just grab the hands and like the two are wrestling for a second, and Temerity kind of like sticks a thumbs out.
Very good.
I'll say before leaving the room to Hammond, perhaps after, or our group does a rest, just send word when you have the time to look at the decanter.
We'll say this has all kind of been a couple hours in game time. Hammond goes, honestly, Luna, we've all had quite a day. Perhaps tomorrow sometime morning, bring the decanter down and we'll get to work.
Okay. Then I go outside and I fire a firebolt that's purple. I'm just joking.
Celebration!
You're like, oops,
bolts.
I forgot that was
The lightning bolts are back on.
We're live, baby!
Okay. I would say, should we all regroup onto the ship or the tower?
Go to the. Actually, yeah, maybe the ship is a better place for us.
That's
to
probably a
meet.
better
That
place.
makes way
I
more
mean,
sense.
everybody else is on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be right there. I just want to do one last thing, and then I'll catch you guys there.
Okay.
Yep, I'm just gonna be moving prisoners. I'll leave the other 3 UNT to the squad, and then I'll have Kanari and Klink.
Okay.
Escorting back.
And I'm just doing a walk and talk with Brock. Walk and talk with Brock.
Walk and talk about. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I want to go to the Aarakocra.
Okay,
yeah.
sure. Takes a little bit of looking, but you do find the Aarakocra. You find them kind of like in the crew's quarters, kind of up against the wall, like just kind of quickly, just kind of sketching something. It doesn't even seem to notice your arrival initially, as they're very absorbed in what they seem to be doing.
What you working on there, Asha?
Hello. Flare of the feathers. It's nothing. Sorry, they don't actually emote. Nothing. And kind of pulls a cloth over whatever they were drawing. You can roll a perception check to maybe have noticed something
Oh, for
as
sure.
you're on your approach.
Also, my My eye patch actually gives me advantage on visual perception, which is a
Yep.
wild thing that it does.
Yep.
Ironic.
Eye patch.
I know. You basically notice everything between smell and sight.
All right, so yeah, that's 22.
Yes, you can see it looks like a map, perhaps. You've seen charts and that kind of stuff before. You can see that Ashara was working on something of that nature just prior to your appearance, and it quickly hides it.
Oh, don't hide. It's okay. I mean, you're a cartographer. It seems like that's impressive.
Kind of the feathers flare up. No, not a cartographer. Not yet.
You're in training. That's amazing.
Kind of like a slight. The feathers kind of like subside a little bit. How can I help you?
All right. Well, I don't want to be too forward, but we saved your city. Are you familiar with Aranya?
Anaria.
Anaria.
Fuck me. Why do I keep swapping the N and the R in my?
You're messing it up for me
okay.
too, because I always
We're
remember
all
what you
typing
said.
it that way now too.
Yes, I noticed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
There's a little kind of cock of the head. I'm afraid that name is unfamiliar to me.
Well,
Please elaborate further.
yes, of course. She seems to be running a group off to whatever direction we were coming from. They don't seem to be in great standing with your city. We encountered this air genasi who was looking to drop a payload on your city. It would cause a cataclysmic storm. We have it with us. We've taken it and are trying our best to store it safely for now.
Feathers are in like full puff. Roll an
it
insight
is.
check for me.
Okay, insight. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's not bad. 17.
17, you can tell that this is kind of like an expression of fearfulness, apprehension. This is concerning information. Unfortunately, birds can't emote,
Yeah.
but the feathers definitely reveal.
Are you and your people currently embroiled in some sort of conflict? It seems, at least on her side, she believes she is.
This elemental, were they part of an organization called the Howling Gale?
Ooh, I mean, if you want to know more, you can come with us. We're not going to be here for too much longer. I have his head on the ship still, and I think Luna was looking to talk to it through magic.
I would very much like this. My people are wardens of this world. We keep a vigil for any sort of incursion from the elemental plane of air.
I see. Well, then this might be very useful to you. We also are looking to find ways to make the Grove a little more self-sustained, maybe even capable of helping others. If your community is in need of certain resources, you might find that the Grove has those ready soon. Perhaps we could establish some sort of common help.
These people are dying. What resources could they?
We have access to, hopefully, provide them with as much water as they need, along with anyone who might need it as well.
If this is true, then perhaps the cartographers will hear it.
Wonderful. Now, obviously, we're still working on everything. No guarantees about anything, but my hope is to, with your help, your people, the Frog Grove, and whoever else comes along, we might start to rebuild some things. A better thing than before.
That is a nice
No.
hope. It is unlikely, but it is nice.
Yeah, but why aim for something likely if it's shit? Let's go unlikely, even if it's harder. Now let's get out of here. I don't think I'm quite welcome on this ship anymore.
Very well. Goes to follow you, kind of flaps the wings a little bit. Soon I
You
will
can-
be able to fly again.
Can you at least jump? And he just like falls off the side of the ship.
I can kind of, yeah, easily just kind of jumps and glides down with you.
All right, that's
Yes.
all I got for that.
Okay, so Ashara comes with you. So you guys have Kunari, Jinzo, Anshin, and Pythias, the 3 prisoners. So 4 prisoners.
Plus Klink.
Plus Klink. Yes.
5 prisoners.
5 prisoners. 5 prisoners. 5 prisoners with you on the ship. They are being moved to the hold, to your brig with your fun little features.
So wait, it's Klink, Jinzo, Kanari,
Anshin, and Pythias.
Anshin, and Pythias. Thank you.
Cool. You guys should definitely show them that the floor drops out just to remind them.
Yeah, Jackrabbit's as you guys kind of bring the prisoners onto the deck. Jackrabbit just kind of like, all right. So.
Okay, so we're regrouped
group
now
together.
on the ship.
Your group is together. Yeah, we'll say prisoners
Sweet.
are put away unless you guys want to do anything with them, but they are in the cells.
Not
They are
at the moment.
All I'm gonna say
sufficiently
to
terrified.
Klink is, "Welcome back. I heard you besmirch my name. We'll talk about it later." Tap on the back into the cell.
Looking forward to it.
Likewise. And I'm gonna go back upstairs.
Okay, so group
Alright.
back together, plus Brock and Gazalik with you. Kids are there as well. They're kind of doing their own thing. So what are we doing, guys?
Okay. Wow.
We'll say you guys are in the stateroom. We
so
have a
we'll just
stateroom.
tell
Let's use
him-
the stateroom.
We'll start by telling them everything we learned in the conversation with Klink. So that's debriefed.
Okay.
And then I look to my dad and I say, Dad, would you mind telling them what you told me about what you know about Inaria's plan to...
Varanya, the dragon.
No, Inaria.
Oh, Inaria. Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. All
with
right.
the charming and the tower. Will you tell them what you told me?
We'll say Ashar's in the room as well.
I think we put them in the brig and we're like on the deck.
No, Ashar's the.
Ashar is, yeah, not a prisoner. Yes.
Okay. And as you guys, we'll say just kind of for things to track, Ashar is very uncomfortable standing foot on your ship.
Oh.
See, there's some hesitancy. So Brock goes, yes. Well, Inaria is, my understanding, some sort of prophet is the way they refer to her. She's something like a leader of their group. Siriko basically was her right hand, and they had a plan to, well, looks awkwardly over to Ashara, destroy your people's home. Why? I can only assume it has to do with your people's mission of being vigilant for any sort of elemental incursion. So it looks like they were just looking to ensure their victory.
You told me that they were looking to open a door to the elemental plane of air, right?
Yes, there is a door to the elemental plane of air that is already partially open. Cannot be sustained, but neither can it be properly closed. That's probably why you've been seeing a lot of storms lately. Just spill out of this plane. And, well, Inaria can guide them. From what I am given to understand, she can see. She can use them to observe things. She can.
So it would be in our interest to stay out of those storms' reach so that Inaria can't see us. Unless we want her to see us.
I suppose so. That's yes. I cannot imagine why you would want her to see you. But from what I understand,
what she's missing.
what's that?
To remember what she's missing.
Lycus knows Inaria, actually.
Do you?
Well, we had a brief time together as the scum were invading. We took a night to gather ourselves, as you do in Apocalypse, right? We've all been here.
Edenor completely blowing past this another statement that we're dealing with a problem X.
Yeah.
Just unfazed at this point, states to Brock, what kind of prophet are we talking here? What deity does Inaria claim to speak for?
Fortunately, that part I do not have enough information for you. I was enthralled, and all the information I have was very much gathered through a bit of a haze. I was given instructions. I wasn't exactly allowed to, offer any sort of opinion or be provided any insight. All I know is that Inaria and Sirico were looking for something important that Inaria needed in order. I'm quite certain it had to do with that portal, but
Most likely the spear.
I want to explain to everybody what I saw when I was in the spear vortex. Like there was a deity there, or whatever.
There was like a presence, yeah.
I don't know enough to know what that is, but I can explain it. See if anyone else, if it sounds familiar to anybody.
Upon your explanation, I don't know. Do you want to go ahead and try, or do you want to?
My man, that was so long ago.
I know. That was over a year ago. Yes. So yeah, when you were in that vortex, you felt the presence. You felt a sinister presence of dark intent. But at the same time, something chaotic, something that kind of resonated with you a little bit, like is something that just felt limitless. But
as this is being explained, does that pique any memories of Edenor, or?
You can roll a religion check, Edenor.
Chaos and malice. Does this sound familiar to anybody?
18 plus religion is plus 4, so 22.
Okay, 22, and I'll also allow actually Arcana as well. If anyone is proficient with Arcana, you can go ahead.
Wow, 22 doesn't get it.
No, 22 does.
Oh.
But I'm also just
Allowing
in case
others as well.
Along others, yeah.
I'm going to defer to you on this one.
Okay. Luna, you rolling?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay. Sure. Well, yourself and yourself and Max are on opposite sides of my call at the moment, and it's very fitting because you're getting all the low rolls, it's getting all the good ones.
Well, actually, if Arcana would reveal different information, I would maybe roll.
Okay.
So
Go for it.
Might as well roll.
Might as well.
I rolled an 18 for Arcana.
Okay. So, religion-wise, there are various prophecies amongst different groups about world-ending events. There's always a doomsday kind of thing, a bad guy for some sort of, thing, right? It's good for the story. For the elemental planes, there are a group known, they're sometimes called the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. But Edenor, you also are familiar of a group called the Princes of the Apocalypse. And essentially their whole shtick is that, they seek to expand the influence of the elemental planes. They can there's some like evil force. Not all elementals are bad, but there's some evil force within the elements that seeks to coordinate and overtake the material plane.
I'm going to, for the brevity of time, essentially
Relay that. Yep.
relay that information.
Yes. At this point, Ashara kind of says, "It is the purpose of the cartographers to ensure that this does not happen, specifically toward the elemental plane of air."
Does
It was
Arcana
mentioned that the
reveal
door
anything?
is.
Oh, sorry. We'll say same stuff.
Okay.
It was mentioned that the door is slightly open to this air elemental plane. Is there any knowledge how to close this?
Ashara goes, "The cartographers may know more. They are the leader of my people. I am
All right.
but a student at the moment."
I see.
They're still there, or did they move somewhere else?
They are still there. They are still, and kind of pulls out a map, which you guys kind of recognize initially here as the map of the area that you've been kind of exploring, right? And Ashara's map is slightly more complete than what you guys have.
Does this match? Because there was a map from Sirico
Yes.
that we got. Does this match with that anyway?
Yeah, so you were able to kind of extend Sirico's map out a little bit, knowing. So are you guys on the map page now?
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
So you know that Sirico's targets seem to be in these. If you can see my ping, it's very laggy. But you can see the ping there in those mountains. But this map is significantly reveals much more. So you guys get.
Ooh.
Ooh, baby.
Taking a good look, memorizing it all.
I will say from here on out, I am just going to go ahead and open up the whole map and get rid of the fog of war.
Amazing.
As
Like I say, you're
Ashara's
recording
map.
now? The map?
Yeah, I was trying to open it up.
Yeah, that's good. I think when you start recording, have David ping again.
Okay, so yeah, it's. Oh, I gotta get off of reveal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that. Wow, it's
Okay.
super laggy on my side, but that's where the folk of fur and feathers, the Aarakocra, live.
Got it.
You can see that you guys are down at this black dot over here. Is the frog groves.
Well, I believe that answers a lot of the questions I would have wanted to find out from Sirico. There's still one or two more.
Yeah.
Oh, full disclosure, I'll take out like the stone crystal. This item gives me the ability to ask a few questions to those who've passed away, and we still have the head of Sirico that we can ask a couple of questions to.
Yeah, it's in my quarters if you want it.
You kept the head. Or
yes,
eating?
No, it just has a hat on it. I thought it was funny, about being honest.
Strange.
Do we think... Is it possible that whatever this dark force from the elemental plane of air is, could that have something to do with the monarch? And the invasion? The scum? Do you think it could be related? I mean, I don't necessarily see any obvious ties, but what do you guys think?
I think it is opportunistic. I do not believe directly related, but that is merely my opinion due to my experiences.
Are we assuming Anar? Am I saying it right? Anaria?
Anaria.
Yep.
Damn you, Ali.
It's alphabetical
Anaria?
order, N before R, if that helps.
That
I wrote
would
it the
probably
right
help,
way.
yes. So are we now assuming that Anaria has some kind of connection to this dark force or this group from the air elemental plane trying to fully open that door and take over? That she is now working with them.
Brock kind of steps in and says, I can confirm for you that Inaria is deeply connected. Inaria, from what I understand, is their prophet. Inaria is a representative of these princes of the apocalypse.
Didn't seem to always be.
Yeah.
I can't speak for what she was like before.
I know you knew her before all this. I'm really sorry, Lycus, that this is happening to someone that you used to care about.
It's fine. And honestly, the issue I have is that I don't think this is entirely her will, which I think means at the very least we might have a better chance of not having to deal with an onslaught from this other realm or whatever the fuck if we can deal with her first. Jackrabbit knows that's not her. Her goals never really seemed to be this. It wasn't until Syracuse showed up that things started to go in this direction.
Right. Which leads me to my next point of discussion, which is these 5 aspects, the dragons that are ascending.
That is another problem entirely.
Yes.
Or is it the same problem?
Or is it the same? I cannot say for certain.
Well,
actually,
Varanya has already ascended. I think it seems like from past things we've discovered and those ruins in the temple that we saw, it seems like each of the dragons that are ascending are connected to an element. Anaria being air, Varanya being poison?
Can I get insight checks from everybody at the table?
Oh.
Pim at advantage.
Sweet. 16.
19.
19, okay. I'd say 15 is the DC. So Pim and Lycus both succeed. So,
I got to get Google.
Okay, what'd you roll?
Insight 13.
13. You don't quite pick up on it. Edinor, what'd you roll? Edinor?
And?
Max?
Maxwell.
Muted?
I'm sorry, I was muted.
Oh.
No worries. Yeah. What'd you get for insight?
My insight was a 11 plus 4, 15.
15. Okay. So everybody but Luna. As Pim is piecing this all together, Brock is looking on, and gone is an expression of admiration, but moving more towards Grim. As Pim kind of connects the dots between the elementals and the dragons.
So, do we think this Ganodun person is probably the fire elemental?
Well, they're the one with the fire genasi, right?
Yeah.
That's what it looks
and
like.
my
each
mom
one
is apparently working for her.
Brock says, all of you listen to me very carefully. There are very powerful organizations who are looking desperately, seeking for a way to restore draconic supremacy. I believe that Pim is correct. That the power to unlock or the power to restore the dragons is hidden within the elemental planes. This is knowledge that I've worked very hard to keep to myself, and It is knowledge that Varanya and your mother were trying to get. They've not figured that out. If they do, then we are really fucked.
Well, then let's stop that from happening. What can we do?
I honestly don't know. Your mother believes that dragons should come back.
Well, you said you. I hope it's okay that I'm saying this. I promise you can trust these people. You said that there were items
Yes.
hidden that would allow the aspects to ascend.
Yes. Relics, orbs with the ability and I suspect the soul of the different dragons. Their power sustained within them. And should an individual like Varanya accept this power, then they could possibly ascend to become a dragon. That is what I think happened with Varanya.
So we need to find those items and destroy them.
And I think I know where one is. Well, give or take a few kilometers.
What do you think?
The
Do
spear.
you know where they are?
The spear, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you guys should remember more or less where it is.
Was there an orb, a jewel in the spear?
Blah, 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 blah. Look, man, she grabbed it.
Roll from memory.
Storm happened.
Yes, I would say Luna, Edenor, or Lycus. You guys can roll history
Luna.
to recall.
Perfect memory.
I'm pretty sure the answer is
I
yes.
knew Luna was gonna just say I remember. So
Yeah.
Luna,
Well, I didn't
yes,
know if
there-
this was before or after
Yeah.
when Luna got the keen mind.
No, I'd qualify everything from within the last month. Luna remembers perfectly.
Cool. Perfect. All right, Luna, you got it.
So yes, Luna, there was a jewel just at the base of the blade, a orange amber jewel held within the blade.
Before revealing that, I'll ask Brock, are you aware of where these orbs may be?
I think they were hidden on the plane. I think
The material plane?
no, the elemental planes. I think they were spread out in different places to keep them from being restored, and I think the gods of Oros were the ones that killed the dragons. I think that's what happened, and I think they sealed them away.
So, okay. So they're hidden on different elemental planes.
Yes, so anyone who, like Varanya, Varanya had a mark. I'd met her years ago, and she had this black mark along her face, and in the shape of a dragon, and actually kind of comes over to Lycus and says, like, turns him around, like pulls out your coat a bit, Lycus, and says, "Look, these are the marks." And he kind of shows you the different visages of the dragons. Luna, with your perfect memory, you have seen one recently.
Okay, so we did find this spear that's being referred to. That is not too far from here. Might have one of these orbs. It's very likely.
Okay.
But if you say that it comes from the elemental planes, then someone took it out of it and brought it here. So this is for you. This spear, did Sirocco bring that for Anaria?
Sirocco
Yes.
brought that for Anaria. Yes. Sirocco delivered that to Anaria.
Right. So it's more than likely that Sirocco, coming from the planes, brought that for Anaria, probably because she's the prophet and has a connection with the group previously mentioned.
Luna, can I just have everybody take their headsets off for just a moment? I just gotta ask Nigel something. Okay. I know you have perfect memory, but roll me a history check. I'm going to say DC's low, 12.
5 plus 8 for 13.
You motherfucker. Okay, there you go. That's clutch. You recently saw one of those visages. Do you remember where? It wasn't an Aria.
I would assume it. Yes.
You rolled, so I can tell you.
This seems so familiar, but not off the top of my head.
It was Enishi, the serpent that you and Edenor fought, the one that wanted Idris. She had green markings on her face.
Oh, snap.
The one whose body disappeared. Okay.
Okay. Okay. One thing I'll bring forth too. I am going to assume that we cannot destroy these things, otherwise they would have been destroyed already. So if we were to get,
unless they were left. I can't speak to why the gods would not just destroy them.
this would be my assumption that if the gods wanted it destroyed, they probably would have. Could be incorrect, but that's the line of thinking we'll be going forward with.
I don't know. They do a lot of weird, like, lazy test shit for people. They like to fuck with mortals, at least from what I've heard.
And we're just kind of like sitting in the corner.
Edenor,
Oh, yes.
maybe. I mean, you sort of like speak with your god a little bit, right? Maybe you could get some intel.
I find that highly unlikely. Ever since the events that have transpired, I have not been able to receive any information. I believe it is being interrupted by the monarch and potentially intercepted.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I am
What?
as well.
What I can say, we have to try and find this spare.
Yes.
Remembering how Anari had that mark on her face, we did see someone similar to that earlier today, in fact.
Hmm?
Do you remember the Yuan-Ti that was mainly in charge who captured Idris?
Oh, Anishi?
Correct.
Enishi had
had a marking on her face similar to what Anari had.
Didn't we
And-
kill her?
No,
Well-
she escaped.
Her body was gone when I went to investigate again. My assumption is they probably brought her back to Sra'aras. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, first time.
Hmm.
So that would take us back to there. It would also take us to where Idris would be right now as well.
Right.
So, if this is a route that everyone wants, you think is, can we settle that? Do we think this is the most important thing right now?
no.
What is more important?
I need to get to my wife. I need to go to Brina. Brina works very closely with these people. She is a part of those organizations looking to restore the dragons. She can help us, right?
Yes.
If we want to stop the dragons, then maybe finding Brina is the answer.
Is she
we need
going
to
to
do
help us,
so.
though?
Well, maybe. I hope so. But we would need to do so without anyone in that encampment knowing.
Well, listen, it's not my place. I'm captain. Might I make a suggestion?
Please.
Your ship is in dire need of repair. Brina is kept in the Iron Hills. The Iron Hills border with the Iron Wood. I know a couple of good shipwrights there. You can have your ship repaired and we can find my wife.
That does sound appealing.
And then we can go find the spear?
I think we find the spear now.
If
I
we
think that's
find the
closer.
spear and then...
Or how about this? We
But
go
wait, we don't want to
towards-
bring the spear to them.
Where is the spear?
It's by the fallen city that is
Point to it on the map.
northwest or something.
So the city kind of fell like. Hang on one second. Let me go to the DM map real quick. Go to the other DM map.
So right now, the spear is on its own. As far as we know.
Yeah, that might be a more
Okay,
pressing
it's-
opportunity.
It's over here.
I was close.
So we can drive.
You were actually really close. Yeah, you were really close. So right there.
We can take the vehicle.
So I recommend that first.
Okay.
Get the spear. If we can remove the ore, possibly, that's great as well.
Listen.
We have a lead case.
Listen. Inaria and Sirocco have been searching for this spear everywhere. If you left it just outside the city, where Inaria's made her base of operations, she would have found it by now. I don't know where your spear is, but it's not there.
Well, if they already have the spear, then we should be seeing another dragon pretty soon here.
Another dragon, unrelenting storms. Things would be shittier than they are right now.
So
Believe me, Inaria and Sirocco were looking for this item. They don't have it.
So someone does, though.
Do you know why Anaria would be going after Lycus? Any idea?
Oh, Sirocco thought that I had the spear.
Yeah. It's all about the spear. I mean, maybe a little bit. Like maybe she wanted to rekindle the flame or something. I don't know. But
We don't worry about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, let's go. I mean, we can kind of see. Can we still see the like green storm in the distance?
I mean, from where you guys are at right now, it's
We're up pretty high. We're on the ship.
you're up pretty high, but it's far out. I mean, I would say the sky is very like, yeah, it's the sky is doing weird things over those parts. Like it's definitely kind of angry on that side.
So we know it's over there.
So suspicious.
Well, you know, storms are over there.
Yeah. Did Click didn't describe the is as having a mark on her face?
No,
Or Klink.
Klink.
sorry.
Yeah, no,
Klink.
no, did not mention a mark on the face.
For who?
Or the mistress of the grave. I forgot the
I mean, yeah.
The
I mean, I just
Ganondorf.
I think it's safe
Ganondorf.
to assume she's a fire genasi, and
So the person she's working or sleeping with or whatever was the one who's actually the prophet vessel, whatever.
The top dog. He's the
Lesh,
warlord.
Lesh,
Yes.
whatever.
Okay.
Sesh.
You don't know if he's an aspect of like one of those guys or not, or if he's connected with it, but
I was
he's
thinking
important.
The mistress
Well,
would be, but maybe it's
Well, the mistress is acting the same as Sirocco. She's a fire genasi, just like he's an air genasi. I think.
Oh, I
they're
thought
bringing
Inaria
them-
was an air genasi at one point. Is
No.
She's a werewolf.
She's a Goliath, yeah.
Ah.
Lycus, take an inspiration, my friend.
Boop, 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 boop.
for remembering his backstory?
No, for the Genasi thing, the connecting the Genasi thing.
Oh,
I'm just gonna count up these inspirations and add them to my hero points later. Go, go.
Sure.
Yeah,
When we move to Pathfinder,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, in that case, I've got
Retroactive
two.
inspirations, sure.
there's
Okay.
hero points.
Yeah.
By the way.
Okay.
So the only lead we have right now is to go to Arena. I would say we can take we have this ship, infinite fuel. We could take a spin. But outside of that, I think I don't know. any-
So
continue
where's the
besides-
Iron Hills in relation to?
Not on this
Okay.
map, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think it's like
I
a
will
lot
say-
northeast.
Exactly. So it's
Oh.
so it
Can you pull up
is-
the world map? Do you have that handy?
No, not for Sandsea, unfortunately. It is north. It's if you guys can see my ping, it's kind of along this peninsula. Like
It just continues up.
Yeah,
Could-
continues up.
How about could
It's
we
also
add
sort of on the way to Azafast if we still wanted to go there.
It's within the Empire. Yes, the Iron Hills and Ironwood are within the Empire.
Might be
of
good to get
Droth.
back in the Empire.
there's also the Aarakocra people. They
Right.
are familiar with some of this stuff. If we give them the information we have regarding the spear, they might be able to help us locate it as well.
Right.
We could do a brief stop, maybe let our friend here do some talking for us.
Yeah, I definitely think we should talk to the cartographers.
The spear causes, when you threw the spear in a direction, it was still creating a storm of some kind above it, like thunder clouds and stuff. Or
It wasn't necessarily creating the storm, but there was a storm. It had originally when Inaria took hold of it. But then once Lycus took hold of it, I mean, the storm was still kind of going on, and you guys just kind of chucked it. But you could feel, Lycus, I remember, yeah, Lycus could feel a desire, like a searching kind of thing. Like you could feel that the storm wanted to find the spear. And then you chucked it.
Right.
Also, how did you get the spear? You had it at one point, Lycus?
Wrestled
yeah.
it from Inaria.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to wrestle it from her. She was
Forced
trying
it.
to be absorbed into whatever that thing was.
Oh.
So I
That
think
might
I
have
stopped.
just saved the world.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say, holy shit, man.
Hey, sometimes you get lucky.
So
Yeah.
we go to Iracox to see if they have any way of finding the spear, and then depending on their answer, either Rena or how good their capabilities of finding the spear, to do that. But I think the Iracox is the first stop.
I do want to point out one thing as well, though. We know Varanya has taken over Muldan Ordan, right? Muldan Ordan is very close to those Aarakocra. It is... Muldan Ordan, I'll put it on the map here for you, is that black circle there. Right here.
Oh.
Our
That is
ship
close.
is not in the best working order right now, but it is still rather mobile. If we take a route to the east of those hills where the Aarakocra are located, keep ourselves concealed, we might be able to get past that area without incurring too much battle.
That would be wise.
We could do that. Me and Oka, we're tight now.
The
Then
ship thrums.
So, okay, I'm liking the way this is shaping up. So we're gonna, excuse me. So we're gonna go sneakily past Muldan Ordan to the Aarakocra to talk to the cartographers, get any additional intel on the spear that we can, and then hopefully go find the spear and also figure out a way to get to Mom, right?
Yep.
All in favor?
Makes
Seems
the most sense.
like a decent plan to me.
Great.
As long as we get Brina away from those goblins,
Well,
We do need repairs desperately. I just need to.
oh,
Really?
shit, that's right. Yeah,
If
let's
we're
take.
Hopefully, we can do some repairs here with.
if
The
Inaria
Yeah.
has the Aarakocra set in her sights, as we all know, if we are not careful, if a storm were to hit, or I don't know if there's another ship like this, we will be at a disadvantage.
Okay, yeah. Do you think that we should repair first, or just do what we can here? I mean, because going all the way to the Ironwood and then back is
There's a lot of
long
space
time.
there.
They'll probably have the spear by then.
And who knows what we'll encounter along the way. Let's
I
repair
have a
what we
feeling-
can now.
let's take a couple of days and do what we can here. I mean, it won't bring it back up to full, I don't think, but it's better than departing in the state it's in now.
Well, staying here also has its risks. Inaria sent Sirocco this way. He was intending to stop here. She said she found something, and Sirocco was supposed to stop here on his way to the Aarakocra.
Well, there's only so much we can do. We have to make a decision. And I think very first thing we need is the ship up and running the best of our ability for now. Otherwise, we're in a ship battle in a dinghy, and we can't have that.
Agreed.
How long do we think it will take to make repairs?
The Neblin sisters could probably have you up and running again, maybe in, I don't know, hopefully less than a week.
How close is that to the Iron Hills?
Couple days travel
By foot?
by air.
By air.
So let's do this. Let's go to the Ironwood. On our way, because it is kind of on the way, we can stop at the Aarakocra
Keep it brief.
and just pray to the gods that we don't encounter Varanya. And then
Odds are on our side.
head to
Yes.
the Ironwood for repairs.
It's
Yeah?
We could have, we could stop by the Arakok and then maybe drop us off and have the crew, go somewhere else in the meantime. Is that an idea or no? Just so the ship isn't parked right there the whole time.
If the captain is willing to part with his ship, I would happily lead it to the Ironwood. I would happily take it to the
I don't think
Ironwood.
I don't think she was saying all the way, just like we can kind of hover it behind the mountain, Luna. If you're worried about being seen, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, or storm.
What will we do with the vehicle?
So that's what I'm saying. If it drops us off there, then we can have the crew go somewhere that is not close by to this place or where Varanya is. And Pim, you're able to talk long distance to communicate when to come back and pick us up.
I don't know, you guys. I mean, we just need to pop in for a short conversation.
Yeah, we don't need to stay.
Okay.
I can deliver your news if you'd like.
That would be amazing. Do you have the ability to send messages long distance?
I do not. But if you are able to send messages to me, I will be able to fly by hopefully tomorrow, flaps the wings, and I will fly quickly to deliver this news to the cartographers. If you message me in 3 days, I might have an answer for you.
What do you guys think?
Sounds good. Maybe you could shorten that by, you could,
You can ride with
hop
us.
off. Yeah. And then
We'll drop you
at a
off.
certain point.
That will be much appreciated.
Okay, then I
Cool.
vote for that.
All right.
Mhm.
Awesome.
All right.
So,
Um,
so
yeah.
we're going to let Ashara fly that message over, and we will continue to the Ironwood.
Yes, and then I will touch base with Ashara and get any information they might have about the spear in about 3 days. 2 days?
That will be sufficient.
Got it.
Okay, well, I think it sounds like, yes, you do have a plan.
So we want to talk to Sirocco?
This point,
It's getting late. It's
Yeah.
like 10
I don't think
o'clock.
so. I
Okay.
think we've found out anything I wanted to ask in
Okay.
this conversation.
And if that case, it sounds like we're just about done.
I do
Let's all
think we
just-
keep the head though. At least 10 days. Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case we change our minds.
However, if my officers and I would be so kind, I think we have one last thing to discuss.
What's that?
Well, we haven't named the ship yet.
Oh yeah.
Now, should we have what's the name? What was the name of the air elemental again? Or
Oka.
Oka.
Oka. Oka.
Oka.
How about Oka's wind?
Quick timeout. How do you guys feel about a quick break? Then we come back and name the ship?
Great.
I
gotta
thought we
let
were
the
going to
dog
be
out.
done in a sec here. Are we doing more?
I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't know if you have any more things you want to do in the Frog Grove.
It's It's long already. I think we should.
I mean, what about, would we just kind of go through the process on the water decanter and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
We do still have that to
And
happen
then we
the next
also
day.
had the conversation with Idris's former crew.
Yeah, but that you guys can do en route as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, we would have
Oh.
to talk to them prior to it.
Oh, true. Okay.
So I don't know.
We've got a few things.
Is there any of this that we could like kind of yada our way through? I know.
Up to you. I'm happy to say, yeah, this is what you get. Up.
The only
I
thing
would
I
say,
want
how
to do.
about we save the name for the start of the next session, is what I would say, because
Sure.
I don't have
Cool.
anything off the top of my head.
I think Oka's wind is really cool, but we can just sit on that for a while. The only other thing I want to do is try to get in contact with my mom. I've got enough juice for a couple of messages, so... Dad?
That's... Any word from your mother would be greatly appreciated. Let's make sure she's okay, and that might even help us know how urgent this mission needs to be.
Yeah. Okay. So we want to know... Let's see. We want to confirm where she is, right?
Where she is, or where she will be in 3 days' time.
Okay. I can do this twice. So let's do let's find out where she is and make sure she's safe and then see what she says.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Rubs her hands together and just places them on her heart. There's a little green glow.
Brock leans over and just kind of rests a hand on the knee, and he's looking at you intently.
And I close my eyes and I say, "Hi, Mom. I'm with Dad. We're safe. Where are you? Are you safe?"
That's 12. Sorry, 13. Forgot my thumb.
Where are you in 4 days?
Where will you be in 4 days?
20. 5 more.
I want to see you.
to see
2
you.
words.
Him? Where see you? Oh yeah, there's no extra.
Him.
Yeah. Sign off.
There is... You suspect that there would be a little bit of a lag before you get a message back. You're kind of prepping and kind of focusing, straining your ears to hear when the response comes, and it's like a crack of thunder, almost immediate. Pim. I am so glad to hear you. Can someone track for me?
I'm so glad to.
I'm
That's otherwise I'm
contractions, you
gonna
guys. Pim, I'm so glad to hear
Oh
you.
yeah.
I'm alive, but in danger. I am aboard the Maglubiate.
How do you spell that? What?
We are east. Sorry. We are currently west of the Iron Hills.
One more word, if you want.
Mom.
Okay. Okay, I say that whole thing back. So she's alive.
Brock is like shaking. He's like,
She's alive, but she's in danger. West, right? West of the Iron Hills?
Yeah.
west of the
Currently
Iron Hills.
west of the Iron Hills.
You can do it again, you said.
Yes. She's aboard a ship called the Maglubian.
Religion check. Those of you proficient.
Half. Nope.
That's a 12.
That's exactly the DC I had in mind. The Maglubiot is the name of the goblin gods. That's like the head of their pantheon. That's like the big guy.
Yeah. Well, I believe that may be the flagship of our enemy.
West of the Iron Hills. Okay. What's west of the Iron Hills? That would be
The Briantera Bay, which is an area very familiar to one of you because it pretty much is the bay that leads into Azafast.
okay. That might mean that they're heading in to attack Azafast.
Message her, Pim.
Okay. What direction are you heading? We'll find you. Don't trust the Genasi. Don't trust anyone. What do I have? 5 more?
You have
10 more.
10 more. 10 more.
Dad and I love you very much.
3.
Please stay safe. So the only question was, what direction are you heading?
All right, someone get ready to count. We have been... Sorry. I think we have been on scouting missions. We are surveying very closely the Ironwood. I think the goblins are preparing for an attack. Please warn them if you are able. I love you.
I love. Maybe I made a mistake in there.
Yeah.
Or love you.
I love... Who knows? Who knows what she loves?
What does she love? Well,
I love lamp.
Okay.
I love my current situation. These guys are awesome.
Okay, she thinks that they're scouting. They've been surveying the Ironwood, and she thinks the goblins are going to attack the Ironwood next. We have to warn them.
That's not exactly surprising. Goblins have been harassing the Ironwood for hundreds of years.
So
There's
then
always been tension along that border, so maybe the Ironwood is vulnerable and the conquering host is looking to sharpen their teeth.
our plan is good. We have to head to the Ironwood.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Okay.
There's anything else? I figure At this point, should we rest?
Yeah, I think it's time.
Brock gives you like a big hug, Pim. He says, "You are amazing.
I
I'm
learned it
so
all.
proud of you."
I learned it all from you, Dad.
Oh, I can't take credit for this. Let us.
Oh.
Sorry, this was totally tension-breaking moment. If you were going to say something soft, you go.
No, I'm not. I was gonna say, I think resting is a good idea.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a chef on board on our crew? Do we have a chef?
We'll find out.
Back in my day, I did travel with an excellent chef, a heron god, actually. You've met her, Granny Mel.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's an interesting reaction.
Oh, she's been captured and mind controlled. Not where she is right now, but we got a friend looking for her.
Okay.
That's the gist of it.
Dad, yeah, everything sucks. Everyone's in danger. Basically.
That seems to.
Oh, I
be
have
the case.
this. And I pull out her tippet.
Takes it in his hands. She'd never go anywhere without this.
Well, she's not exactly herself right now.
I can hold on to it for me. If we must bring it back to her.
Sure.
We'll bring it back to the Ironwood. We'll give it to her kin.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So, anything else you guys want to do, or will you be taking your long rest?
I'll go claim any private room if there is one. And
Sure. Easily enough.
after all of this, knowing that we're gonna go, I'm a little curious on what's happening in Azufest, so I'll do like the hour to attune to my gossip diary, write down the name Ralavin in it.
Okay. Do you want to do this privately, or do you want me to say it now?
It's okay.
Okay, so you scribble the name Ralavin, and the magic of your diary reveals a secret, some sort of secret knowledge that Ralavin holds as important. Could be a memory, or the name of a desire, or something like that. But this one's interesting. So Ralavin has Ralavin's secret at the moment that is, you get the sense it is important to him. The importance, the gravity of it is relayed through the magic, as well as the dark intention of it. Ralavin, the secret that revealed is that Ralavin is planning an assassination. The target of the assassination is revealed through the magic. The name of the target is Doriander Elwins.
Okay.
That's what you get.
Terrific. Right. I mean, I'll roll the d4 for the fun of it.
Yep.
Because I'm just gonna go rest now, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fitting. Despair.
Nice.
So yes, I will act very despaired right now after hearing that news.
Luna is sitting in her room all alone, just in the grips of intense despair.
That's it for me.
Okay. Anybody else?
Maybe just a quick thing.
Sure.
I want to go check in on the Gripply, see how they're doing.
Sure. Okay. So you take the slow falling down again?
Yeah. I'll ask if Yoma wants to come along.
Okay. It's late. Yoma's
fully.
asleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoma's. I would say when you go to ask, you find Yoma and Sarah kind of curled up, in the captain's quarters. They've taken a sofa and a blanket and just kind of curled up on that. Still in the boots. Actually, no, not a blanket. They're using the cloak.
If without working,
Corner of
Robin
which
gonna,
is just going.
Yeah.
I'll fully throw them on the bed. I'll take the couch.
Okay.
Throw them.
Go softly.
Sleeping child.
Yeah. You move them, and there's just like a small little like moan from Sarah as she's being moved. Does not wake up. Yoma, as you go to move, does wake up, just like very groggy and it's like, what's happening? You doing what?
Girl, don't worry about it. I'm just giving you guys a slightly better sleeping arrangement.
Where are you gonna sleep?
I'll find my space.
Okay. Goes and plops onto the bed next to her sister.
Kids. That's why I never had it.
Ass asleep on the bed.
Yeah, I'm just going to check on the Gripply, see how they're doing.
We'll say you head down, whether you use the lift or slow fall. You've got options.
Yeah.
Hello, Doglet.
Pirouette off.
The Frog Grove is quiet. The crews have settled down, and as you make your way across the dried riverbed, up towards the pond, you enter in. And again, even though everyone's quiet and it's late, do not mistake that it is still bright ass daylight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It is not nighttime in the Frog Grove. It is never nighttime in the Frog Grove. And as you make your way up towards the pond, you see there are a couple of Gripply who are kind of like hunched up together, kind of like a, not quite like they're sitting with as much of them submerged as they can. But you can, as you look around, you notice that the water level does seem, again, a little bit lower than when you left it. Between the sandstorms moving in and just adding more debris and shit to it, they're constantly in a state of trying to just keep the status quo. The Gripply that see you almost make like they are coming up to greet, but the effort of that quickly dissuades them from that action, and they kind of just nod. And as you walk out, as you start to kind of wade into the pond towards like where the pond mother would go, you hear Croaks, having spent time amongst the Gripply. Roll a history check at advantage.
All right. That's -1. I believe. Yes, -1. 17.
17. You can tell the Croaks. I mean, you don't have like mastery over the Gripply language, but you pick up a few phrases, and the general sense from the ones that are awake is you are wading through the pond, the water of which is very hot. It's like stepping into a warm bath. It's gratitude, thank yous, expressions of graciousness.
Okay. Do I find the pond mother at all? Or
You do. Actually, the bow of the honor, one of the things that Idris did is turn the bow of the honor into a little bit of like a hut. So there is the bow of the honor just kind of like through a little hole in the roof of the cave. And the pond mother is, as you approach, you can see her kind of like facing away from the door, right? As she is kind of like within that. As you approach, you notice that there are these large, like, growths on her back. With your previous history check, just kind of riding that 17 a little bit, she is called the Pond Mother because the Gripply are family. She is the one who lays the eggs that become the Gripply. She is one of those frogs that carries those eggs in her skin on her back.
Disgusting.
Yes. It is a very gross process. And it is a very private process. The fact that you are allowed to even see her in this state is significant. Like, it's because you are you.
I'll give her a little bow. Mother, I just wanted to inform you of some hopes for the future. We're working with Hammond at the moment to try and make a device that will provide you with as much water as you can need. Only problem is, the more water you have, the more of a target you are for the scum. I believe in the Gripply and their strength, but you don't quite have the forces to withhold it, to push back against that. We're going to do everything we can, of course, but there's a lot going on. The dragons are coming back. The world is in danger again, and we're trying our best to slow it down. I won't be able to stay here long and protect you all, but I'm hoping to make an alliance with the Aarakocra to the north. And once you have a source of water, they might be able to exchange it with them for protection. You might want to consider, though, the grove was hidden and beautiful and wonderful before, but it's dying now. And as much as I loved the grove, what's more important is the Gripply. You might want to find a safer location. There are a lot of underground passages that we've discovered, places a little bit cooler. With the device we're hoping to create for you, you'll be able to turn any of those into a little hidden alcove. Maybe with enough time, you'll be able to create a real oasis for others. But for now, I want you to focus on keeping you and the Gripply safe.
In response, as you say this,
oh yeah, I'll take a dip with the thing so she doesn't have to.
Okay. She moves slowly. The kind of slowness that someone that is kind of slowness that belies great effort. As she kind of turns around within that little hut that has been crafted for her, the water kind of creating small little ripples as she moves, as they kind of hit up against you, kind of, wetting you like up to the waist. And she kind of crawls out just enough and leans forward towards you, resting her head on your hand, where you go to collect the oils. And with great effort, she says just a few words.
Thank you, my son.
Okay. Rest. We'll see what we can do.
You having lived again amongst them, you know that the process of supplying for the young on her, it's taxing. She is pulling effort. There's a big energy sink.
Okay, I mean, I just needed to make sure everyone was up to date and I knew what was going on. I'm gonna head back to the ship. I need to take a nap as well. Yeah, we can collect the UNT in the morning or whatever.
Oh, they're already on the ship. You guys got them already. You're pretty much
Idris crew.
Oh, Idris' crew. Yeah. So yeah, recruiting the crew, and then Luna has a date with Hammond. Okay. All right, guys. I think call the session here. We've been going for about a lot longer than I usually would like us to go. We're coming up to 4.5 hours here, so I think we're gonna call it here for today. And we will talk. Who knows? Maybe this isn't quite the last session.
We need another one.
Oh boy.
We can start up the next one with this too.
That's true.
I think
that's true.
perfectly possible because
We
have our,
can. We'll
we
talk
have our
about
goal
this.
where we want to go.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
We'll talk about this off cam.
Sounds good. All right, so my friends, that is going to be it for today's session, and that is going to be it for our 5th edition D&D adventures. The story continues with a new twist as we go forward from here on out. Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with us. Check out all of our awesome stuff here on the Delta Cryptid YouTube channel. If you are interested in more stuff in the world of Hysteria, there are a few episodes over on twitch.tv/CommuneDM, where there are 5 episodes of Heroes of Histaeria Unearthed Inheritance, the sibling campaign to this one. You should also check out their other stuff. They're fantastic. Call of Cthulhu games, Known Realms to Lesh. Definitely go check that shit out. It is prime. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Any parting announcements for our friends?
Stick around. There's going to be a lot more coming.
Yes, do that.
There are many new crazy things, so.
Yes. All right. Well, that is it. You guys, enjoy your Sunday. Bye.